And that was that. All right, so I sent that to Reels. He'll be here in a second. We'll get Terran Matthew up in here in a second. I'll have Reels send the link to Terran, and hopefully Phil joins us so we can have an actual working phone line. And that would be great and everything. But yeah, Percy, I got nothing but love for you, brother. You know what I mean? I'll even send you a link. You can come up here. But I see no proof of supernatural stuff at all. All the important questions that need answering, and I'm here hoping he gets to break in break in life, and doesn't just kick Kenny in the balls in season 4. I hope he finds love. Who is this person? He's gonna. He's. It's people saying it's just ringing. It's just ringing. That is wrong. That is wrong. That is wrong. That is wrong. It should not just be ringing without me hearing it, because I don't even hear it. I gotta shut down some of this stuff first. Off, let's get rid of that. 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 Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Here, get rid of this. Here, get rid of that tab. Here, all right. Saying it's just reading. Can I? Let me see. Receiving calls. It's on. Your browser, man. Prevent calls from ringing. Change your browser. What is this? Change my browser. Why would it prevent this? It's always worked before it rang. Now all of a sudden, the browser. Check your VPN. Blah. I mean, it has. There's got to be a reason why they're showing me this whole thing. If that's not the case. Should be able to test. I should be able to test it. It's like call myself or something. No, that. All right, we got Reels in the building. What's going on?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, let me drop this thing real quick because this is something's wrong with my phone line. I gotta stop it and maybe reboot it. All right, let's see if I can get you on there at the same time. There you go. All right, what's going on, brother?
I'm peace. How you?
I'm good, man. How's everything?
I was going to ride home and then try to hop on, but I'm like, nah, he'll probably be off by the time I get home. I got to stop and do a couple of things. So I'll just do it here at the studio. You did? Can you hear me good? I
Yeah,
don't usually live from here.
Yeah, we get you fine, man. We get you fine. Terrence said he wanted to pop on too.
Yeah, I just heard you say that I should send him the link. So that's
yeah, if you want to send him the link, you could definitely do that.
I'm trying to figure that out real quick.
I don't know if he wants it on Twitter or
You
something.
know, we try and figure out all of these technicalities on these computers. We kind of old now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's not the same.
We getting up there.
If it was a rotary dial on the telephone, I got you.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. You know what I'm saying? My grandmother had the long cord.
Yeah,
we didn't even we never got the cordless phone. We just had the dumb long cord.
That shit stretched that cord. That motherfucker with 3 rooms. That cord.
Yeah, that shit went to every room, the kitchen, everywhere.
Stretch that damn cord.
If we rocking on that, I got you. How can I see the chat? What's up, chat? I know y'all down there. Oh, let me just pull it up.
All right, Phil's pulling up. So now we got Phil pulling up. So now we have Phil. We'll use his phone on. Let me get this banner off the bottom then, because we're gonna switch it to that. Go to Phil. Phil when Phil's right to pop in and stuff and all that. But yeah, how's everything, man? How's everything been?
All is well. All is well. I see Nene in the chat. I see Debbie Bo Bevy down there. I heard you talking to Percy earlier. He's in there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, that's fire shit right there, yo. Like the familiar is back.
It is. It is. What did you think of the trailer?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I got
Yeah.
some heat for this so-called trailer that they gave us, but it really felt like a teaser to me.
All right. All right.
It
Why?
really felt like a teaser. I'm gonna tell you why, right? Like when you have a teaser or a trailer for From, and we've seen this with season 1, 2, and 3, they give us some narrative, and they didn't really do that. Like last season, they let us know that somebody was getting murdered in the barn, and Boyd was there to bear witness to it. So they let us know that's narrative right there. So we knew somebody was dying. We went into the trailer. I think that we're gonna get a fuller trailer before it's all said and done.
I wish it was true, but they've only ever released one trailer per season, so I gotta think they're
That's
gonna.
another fact.
You know, they do one teaser, one trailer, and then the season starts, and they've done that from season one. So I think that they're probably gonna stick to that formula because if it ain't broke, you know what I mean, it's gonna be you can't fix it up. I think they're gonna run
Right.
with it.
Last time they tried to fool us with the teaser, and I caught that with
You
the
caught him. You
yeah, I
caught
caught him. So they didn't try no slick shit like that. They just been real, it's real vague and real quiet to me. Like I like the stuff that we saw though. Like we saw those scarecrow things that was buried over there by the cabbage patch at the cabins. We
him.
saw Boyd straight up telling Elgin, like, yeah, we gonna keep this silent on what we did to you up here. Like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah,
And then we seen him going at it with old girl, your girl, what's her name? Acosta.
yeah, yeah.
Danny.
Mm-hmm.
Danny Acosta. Like, so
He put his hands on my shorty like that. He
I
can't
know, yeah, right. I
do that.
said Tony gonna say something
Yeah,
about that.
I
He gonna say
did.
he gonna say something about
Can't put
that.
his hands on my
But
shoulder like that, man.
I
You
mean,
can't.
what else did they really give us? Like they didn't really give they gave us something about this weird ring that Boyd saw. Um, I think that the infinity symbol on there has something to do with the zodiac because when the sun travels in the sky throughout the year, it makes an infinity symbol in the sky
Oh,
everywhere in the world. And
we
so
got
as
1 second. We got the man in yellow himself, Doug Hugh, is in the chat, rocking with
oh
us.
snap, the man in yellow, yo, Doug Hugh. Oh, that's another thing that they gave us in the trailer was Doug going crazy by the suitcase.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? He looked like the Skelly Man bull from It Welcome to Dairy.
100%,
Yo,
100.
I thought that was fire. Like they didn't really give us a lot. They gave us kind of like things that they know. What they've done is they've created a fan base that will be excited to see some new things. And that's what they gave us pretty much. But they didn't give us any narrative like they usually do. And you're right. They only go with the one trailer. They go with a teaser and a trailer. So we might not get anything else. But at that same token, they usually give us some narrative in every trailer. And I'm really not surprised that they didn't do it this time, actually, because that's how they fuck with us all the time. They like fucking with us.
They do. They do. Thank you for the super chat, J Hove. And it says, I think Ethan will be in big trouble this season. I can't see them doing anything to him in that way. Me personally, I wish that not wish that they would do something to him. I don't wish that, but I just don't see them doing. I can't see Ethan. I think if anything bad happens to him, it's just going to be emotionally. I can't see it physically happening to him.
I think they gonna take Ethan.
Take him this
Yeah, I
season.
think he's gonna get taken this season. Somebody gonna snatch Ethan up. Like when you look, isn't Ethan in the cabin when the scarecrow came busting through the cabin? He's
Yes,
in
he
there.
is. He's in there. He's in there.
He's in there, and I think the scarecrow gonna snatch up Ethan.
Yeah, he's in there. Tabitha's in there. Ellis is in there. That means Ethan, Tabitha, Ellis, extra, and then someone else, and someone else. I think the new chick. So Soph is in there too.
Okay. And the little kid that Jade was seeing in the tunnel, I think that's Jade.
It could be Jay.
I think he was seeing himself.
It seems like I think that little kid in the tunnel is what leads him to get bagged up by the monsters. Like he follows that little kid, and then the monsters pop out on him.
And also, I think that that's the little kid that played in the Institute as Avery.
Maybe
it looks like little Avery that played in the Institute.
It would make sense to overlapping characters. He was in the Institute, but that's also directed by Jack Bender. Yep. And Henry was in the Institute as well. Henry was in it, and I also thought that the guy who played the villain looked like Doug Hugh. I was like, Doug could have been playing this part.
Yeah, Doug could have been playing that too.
He could have played that part. Doug could have pulled that part off easily. I was like,
it would have been better because he would have had an American accent, more of an American accent.
Yeah, when I watched it, that's just specifically came. I said Doug should be playing this part. He could play this part. It should have been Doug doing this.
You know, Doug is in the building. That's crazy.
That's what's up. Phil, you good?
Yep.
Okay, Phil, I see Phil up there. I'm on this other screen looking at the chat. What's up, chat? Phil, what's good?
Not much. Doing good. And someone said, I think they should do a extra scene, kind of like what they did at the end of Breaking Bad, where they had him waking up in bed and Malcolm in the middle. It'd be great if they had Walt show up and Boyd was like, "What the hell? You're not here," and he just screams, "Walt!" That'd be a great callback to us.
Who do you think's coming back this season? It's like every season they bring someone back. Who do you think's coming back this season?
Well, we saw in the trailer that Jim's coming back since he died last time, and I'd be surprised if we don't get our usual Father Cautry appearance at some point. And we saw Abby's hand, or at least the Addams Family thing version of her hand.
And you got Dead Tom.
Dead Tom showed up before.
You think Tom's coming back? Do you think they're going to bring Miss Lou or Tilly back?
No, but I do think they're going to bring Dale back because he's married to Liz Donna. So it's easy to just have him show up on set one day and have him like haunt Donna in Colony House at one point. So I do think maybe we'll bring back Dale. Dale will be my pick.
I said something in I'm wondering what everybody's looking at in the pool. Speaking of Dale, like I made a joke. I said they might be looking at Dale down there breakdancing or something. I don't know what's going on. What are they looking at? What y'all think they're looking at in the pool?
All right. So what we see in the trailer, and we got a super chat from Randall saying, "What's up, Doug?" I appreciate the super chat, my brother, 100%. And I'm not telling you not to send it, but you could say what up to Doug. He gonna notice you. I promise you. But I appreciate it. You know what I mean? But Doug's that type of guy. He's that type of human and stuff that he definitely will holler back at you. You know what I mean? And all that. But 100%, if you want to keep sending them, Doug, keep that money popping in. We appreciate it. Anybody else want to say, we'll take $5. A hello, Doug. Doug will say hello to you if you super chat us $5. We'll get Doug to say hello back. No.
Yeah, weird kind of cameo, but we'll take it.
Yeah. I think what we've seen in the trailer, we see that the rope is hanging up by the bag. A bag is hanging from the rope and it's dripping blood, right? That's close to the pool. So I think that's either Jim's head or a body part of Jim. So I think there's going to be another body part of Jim inside the pool, and then whatever is rest of him will be strung up by its legs inside the barn by that sign. With knowledge comes power.
Doug's hilarious. Dale.
Well,
rocks.
Yeah, that makes sense. Dale rocks.
That's good. That's good, Doug.
But that's what I think. I think it's just like pieces. I think it's pieces of Jim. I think Jim may have been quartered.
It makes sense. I'm wondering if I'm wondering if they crashed. Did they crash? I know they crashed into the post office.
Yes, that's the priest and his and the new Sophie.
So I'm wondering if someone else crashed too. You know, maybe crashed into the pool or something and hit Dale. That would be crazy. And then his body come out in pieces.
Mm-hmm. Let me answer this question real quick. He's saying, why would the man in yellow show Jim's body if he wants to become one? I don't understand what you mean by that. If he wants to become a body,
I think what they're asking is there's a lot of people that think that when we see Jim in the trailer,
he wants to become Jim. All right,
so it wouldn't behoove them to show the body if he wants to turn.
This is the reason why I think in the end. First, I think we have to realize that when Julie last season sees Doug, sees the man in yellow and sees Jim get killed, that's not the first time Jim's been killed. He got killed before that because she's aware that he's dead. That's why she goes there. And she goes, I think this is where it happens. Got to get out of here. So he gets killed. So that whole sequence isn't what happened when he really died because Julie was not there in the sequence he died. So the man in yellow may not have ripped his throat off. Maybe he did something else to him. Maybe he stabbed him in the stomach when he killed him the first time. The time we seen with Julie is the second time. He had to push Julie off of him, right? Julie wasn't there to get pushed off of him the first time. So it's a good chance that he kills Jim. He takes it and he looks down. He goes, this is my favorite part. He cuts his hands off, cut his head off or whatever, puts the head in the bag, strings that up in town, takes the rest of his body, or has his people take the rest of the body and string him up inside the sign that says, if with knowledge comes, this is what happens and shit like that. Puts his body on there.
That kind of makes sense to me because that's who he said that to.
Yes.
He said that to Jim before he killed him.
And it's always when you deal with this town and you deal with them, it's a fear factor. They want to have you shook the whole time, and this will get everybody shook, right? And this is what it's going to be. And the pieces are leading them to the barn so people can actually find it. Like when they see them torture the girl and put the rod in her head, what did they do? They made the music come on the cell phone so that people the alarm so they could be led to her to find her. They wanted her to be found. They could do that. And this is now they're leaving the trail of body parts over there for it.
And they did warn Jim a couple of times. They warned him on the phone too. They said, don't go digging a hole. You shouldn't have dug that hole, Jim. Jim had his chances not to get, hacked and slashed and destroyed there. He warned him. They gave him the ultimatum and he kept pushing. He kept needing to get some conditioner for his hair and get out of town. And Tabitha did not bring that back with her.
And he's not turning into Jim. That's not going to happen. He is turning into somebody. I know who he's turning into. I figured this out. I'll put this out in the video tomorrow of who he's turning into. But it's not Jim. But he definitely going.
Yo, what if he turns into a big spider or something?
All right, so I know people. I hear the spider theory, and I understand why people think it, but I don't see the big spider. Like I haven't seen the big spider yet. Like in the show, like in the Victor's drawings, when they show the spider, they show like raindrops behind it, and the spider and the raindrops are bigger than the spider. So to me, that would indicate the spiders are small, not big. You know?
So you think he's transforming into someone?
Yes.
Okay. A lot of people are saying that he's transforming into Jim, like what Phil was talking about when he see Jim and Ethan talking. I don't know. I'm thinking that might be like a story walking situation, or
I'm gonna have to give. I have the video come out tomorrow, and it's gonna be in the video. But I'll because y'all are here live and everything. I'll break it down for y'all. Like my man Real is up in the building, rocking with us, the Phil the Issues guy, and everything else. I would say that he's turning into a woman with light hair. When we look at when Tabitha found the box,
it was a woman's dress.
It was a woman's dress in it, and then she held the hair up to the light, right? Specifically.
Yeah.
Now, this wasn't her husband's shit. Like women do that shit if it's in their own house, right? If they don't own a house and the woman see another woman's hair, they quick to put that up in there and stuff. Phil, what you do? Ruin. You got half of my face looking like Two-Face there. But yeah, you know, women there. Look, if you got listen, women will find another piece of woman's hair in their house. Listen, believe that. Like they gonna find it, and they're gonna hold that hair up and say, "What?"
And look at it, yeah.
Right. So she did that. And we could see that was a light piece of hair, whether it's blonde or light hair, it's a light piece of hair that was there. So we got a light piece of hair that was in there. We see the woman's dress that was in there. When you put those two things together, if he's turning into anyone, he's turning into one of these women. Now, it would make it's either Acosta or the new chick that just got there. You would think maybe it's the new chick because she's new, and that would give her role, and that would make her. They're actually hyping her up a little bit here. You know what I mean? Saying that she's, you know, who is this chick and blah 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 blah. We could see her. She's getting close to Kenny. That's Kenny's new girlfriend and shit. Man in Yellow might offer, put her clothes on, and with the hair, the DNA, be able to transform into her. Or it could be.
I love this. I love this theory. I love it. Let's play with this theory a little bit.
All
what
right.
if it's the other female that's supposed to be the new character, the colonial woman?
Well, yeah, I forgot about the colonial.
Yeah, there's like a new character. We got the what's her name character, Sophia, and we have another new character. Oh,
yeah.
there's the boy.
You're right. Oh, listen, we are now joined by New York Times best-selling author who has a new book dropping. Sold millions of copies. The Summoner series. Go buy it. Terran Matthew, the creator of the tarot card theory. And I've seen other YouTubers and other channels talk about it like they made the shit up. The Hangman and all this shit. We know who it really came from. Terran Matthew. Terran, what's going on, bro?
Hey guys, nice to see you, Tony. Nice to see you, Real. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah. Yes, you're fine.
All right, sweet. Yeah, what a trailer, huh? Sorry, I hope I'm not retreading ground you guys have already discussed, but that was my favorite trailer of the trailers we've had for From so far. What about you guys? How does it rank for you guys?
Yeah, I think it's number one in the building and all that. What
I feel like it's the only one that didn't give us any like real narrative. Like show
That's
us
true.
any, you know, how like the other trailers gave us like the trailer for season 2, it showed us damn near the whole scene with them getting off the bus and everything. The trailer for season 3 showed us someone getting killed in the barn and Boyd standing there. Like they gave us like they even let us hear the cowboy monster talk that had everybody thinking that we was going to get a lot of that in season 3, which we didn't get a lot of. But I think the trailer was fire in the aspect of showing us so much new stuff. I was surprised that we didn't see Smiles Davis in there, the Smile Monster.
I don't know how much he's going to have. You think that he's going to have a big role, but I think they may step away from him a little bit and go towards a different monster.
Well, I wonder whether they're building up to something with him. So if they're going to have a big smiley reveal where he comes and does something big, you don't want to show him in the trailer. You know what I mean? So it could be that they're giving something big. And, the showrunners have said that they have a habit of having a character that they were planning on killing off, and then they keep them. So apparently, Victor was supposed to die in season 1, but everyone loved him so much that they kept him. And then, they had the dad reunion with Henry. So it's had a knock-on effect, a ripple effect. So I imagine that Smiley, he's so popular, they decided to kill him off because that was sort of a big sort of climax in season 2. And then they were like, we have to bring him back. And suddenly that's the answer to Fatima's pregnancy. They kind of got that slightly out of sync, though. She was pregnant before Smiley died. But I think that because people like him so much and he's such an iconic actor on the show, such a character. You know, they used him in their big poster campaign for season 2. I gotta think that they're gonna give him more of a role. So,
well, there's no other monster that was recognizable really besides Jasmine and him in the show before Doug. I'm sorry, I keep saying Doug. I'm sorry. I know you're in the chat, and I'm sorry. I keep saying before the man in yellow got there was really no other ones that you would recognize besides Jasmine and him who had any talking lines or anything like that. And I think he got his lines and he ran with it, you know. So they decided to give him a little bit more to work with and stuff. I would have rather seen Jasmine be reborn. If I got to see a bloody booty be reborn, they would have been better off with Jasmine. It would have worked for me. But
that was crazy. I mean, I know they're gonna the symbolism is gonna be off the charts this season. Like,
well, real. I think the smiley butt reveal was a clue to the moon. I'm just saying. I'm just saying it was a clue to the moon. It was a full moon. There's something to do with a full moon. I'm telling you, it's coming.
Yo, have y'all seen that show, The Beauty?
I have not watched The Beauty.
Okay,
no,
so The Beauty, I'm not gonna spoil anything. There's parts in that look exactly like the Smiley being reborn, and they do it over and over again on this show. If y'all been watching that show, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. The way that Smiley was reborn is exactly what they're doing on The Beauty. You got to see it. It's crazy.
Oh, thank you for the recommendation.
It's okay. I answered them both. Thank you, Doug. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. I mean, it's also the way that they did in Lovecraft Country when they had the person inside the person. It looked like that too, right? When they did that, when she shed her skin and stuff, when she was the white woman and she shed her skin.
It does. Yo, love. I mean, where do we have to sign up to get Lovecraft back?
That's a sore thing in my stomach. Phil, can you hold it down for me? I must go and grab another refreshment. Phil,
you know it. I'm here. So if anyone does want to call in, you guys can call in and ask anybody here a question at 781-990-8509. I forgot my own number there. It's like remembering your own name sometimes. It's hard to remember. 781-990-8509.
I wonder if Doug's allowed to join or if he has to be on hiatus while the show's releasing, while the show's about to come out. Because I remember the press, I guess they did do interviews while the show was coming out before. So yes, you just need to keep everything secret. And there's so many secrets that Doug must know. Like he knows what the transformation stuff is all about. That is what I think the big mystery is right now, in my opinion.
Well, okay. I think they're going to reveal that. I think that's going to be revealed to us quick, what he's doing there and this whole transformation thing.
Do you think most of the stuff we saw, as usual with things like this in the trailer, was from the first couple of episodes?
Based on the clothing, you could guess that, but they do tend to wear the same clothes for quite a few episodes, especially Elgin. And
it's true. I guess we have to go by Jade's hair and beard, but we didn't see too much of it. We only saw it a couple of times. That's our only time frame metric.
Now, the teaser that they dropped, most of that appeared to be like right after the events of season 3.
Yeah, and all the stuff with Tabitha and her discovering stuff in the barn and all that, I assume, is right afterwards.
Yeah, it looks like that from what she's wearing, and it does. I don't know. It doesn't seem like they moved too far away.
Oh, Doug says his lips are sealed. So what's he really mean?
Okay, that's a good thing. I was just mentioning that Doug holds many secrets in his head.
He does.
He'll be chuckling to himself as we try and
saying
figure
that
out.
His lips are sealed. Do you think that's a clue?
That's what I'm asking. Exactly, real. That's what I was implying. Is this actually secretly a clue in some ways? Oh, we have our first.
Wait. He just said it's a pain in the ass. That's definitely a clue.
Oh yes, that is. That is because we were talking about his butt earlier. Area code 347. Welcome to the show. What's your question or comment? Take on over.
Hi everyone. This is Rose. RJ in the chat.
Hi, Rose.
Yes, I have a question. So Tony was saying that the man in yellow can't be slaughtering the whole town because he's gonna get winded and stuff, right? But if these monsters don't have any internal organs, how are they gonna get winded? If you don't have no lungs, then you should be able to slaughter everybody. So is the man in yellow a real person, or is he a monster like the rest of us?
Good question. What do you guys think of the Taryn? Do you think he is an actual human or some other kind of creature?
God, it's so hard to tell at this point. We know very, very little, even with the reveals that we had. But if you wanted my theory of what he originally was, I would guess that he's a fallen angel, the fallen angel of the sun. Shamsiel, I think, is the fallen angel of the sun. And yeah, that's who I think he is. I think there's a biblical origin story that starts this whole thing off. And I think that it's to do with fallen angels that sort of evolve into different mythological beings over history. So they serve the same. So they were multiple gods from multiple religions and mythologies over time, and that's why there's so many references to all these different things, because they're all sort of these immortal ancient beings that live for many years. And I found it interesting that John Griffin, when he was discussing his inspiration for the Man in Yellow, he talked about this street dancer that he saw in Las Feliz Boulevard in LA, I think it was. And he talks about how he appeared to be like a fallen angel who had just attained a new body and was dancing in this sort of janky way. And I thought that was interesting because there are many angel references on the show. There's an upside down angel in Ellis's room. And there is also, so there's an angel that's the right way up in Ellis's room, right? And then later in the season, it falls upside down. It's hanging by a pin, which would suggest a fallen angel. And then obviously later, Elgin talks about how angels are actually very scary in the Bible. They're not these beautiful things. They're actually scary, kind of semi-monstrous in a way. So that is my opinion of who the Man in Yellow is. I think he started as a good angel. The fallen angels were the ones who engaged with the humans, had children with them who are known as giants and Nephilim. And anyways, I will.
Some of what you're saying is connecting me to some of the stuff that happens in Dogma with Loki and Bartleby, with that character. Fallen angels that kind of go evil or go rogue in some ways. How about you, Real? What do you think? Do you think the Man in Yellow is an actual human?
Well, to me, he appears to be very similar to the monsters, but he can walk in the daytime, it seems like. And it hasn't been disproved that the other monsters can't walk in the daytime. Like, that hasn't been even addressed on the show yet, if the other monsters can walk around in the daytime. We just assume that they can only walk around in the daytime because they only walk around in the daytime. There's a lot of things that we don't know about them, but I do notice that he had the same kind of fingernails that they have. And the children also have those same kind of fingernails as well. And so I'm thinking that he was probably once human, but he's obviously been changed into something. Or the other side would be that he's probably some sort of shapeshifter that masquerades as different humans, like, I guess.
I do agree with that, Real. I think he will transform into someone. I'm guessing it's going to be Jim, potentially, but then there are two bodies in the graveyard that are being buried. So, and many people assume that one will be Jim. So that would be that's an interesting one.
I think it's Tilly.
Oh, Tilly!
I forgot.
Yeah, that's a very good point. So that means Jim. It's Jim. They hide the body.
I think that is Tilly and
transforms into Jim
and Sophia's father.
I totally agree with you. We and may I just say something that I was thinking about recently, and it was about billing. So when Amazon Studios released their press release, there's a landing page with all the information on it. and they have the billing for the actors on the show. And what's interesting is that Katri, when he died, he became a guest star and he lost top billing. But on this one, Jim, where is he? He's number 3.
He's
on
number
the
3.
list.
Tony and I were talking about that a couple of streams
Okay,
ago.
so
It's true.
last year,
they're keeping him as a star. They're keeping him as a star.
Exactly.
I definitely caught on to that. And I told y'all last year that Jim represents the widow's son. He did the pose of the widow's son.
1 second, caller.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
No, keep going, Ro.
He did the pose of the widow's son.
1 second.
He
caller.
did the cross-legged effigies when he was standing on the square in the vestibule at the clinic or the school or whatever we want to call it, the clinic. And he also covered his eyes as he was walking into that vestibule. So I think that Jim is important. I think that Jim, because why else would he be a target for the man in yellow? That's the question right there that I think we kind of missed. Like, why target Jim like that?
He hates
Because you can get close to the Matthews family.
All right. We shall see. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I took a second. I went to Jersey fucking Mike's and I got the big kahuna. And that's exactly what just came out, and I didn't like it one bit.
Area code 954. What's your question or comment?
Hey, what's up, guys? I just wanted to say, good job on covering the show and everything like that, man. For Real, for Taryn, for Phil, as well as for Tony. You guys are doing a hell of a job at that. I'm really sad that this show is like one of the biggest shows, but it seems like it doesn't get as much traction as it should. Like,
so on MGM Plus, brother.
People do not really talk about it as much, or I'm noticing people that cover it do not get the views that they should be getting. So that sucks. So I want to say that. But like I said, I appreciate your guys' work ethic and everything like that, just covering the show for the many years that you have. I wanted to say, like, so for the man in yellow in the trailer, there's a scene where everybody's like looking in the forest area, and I don't know what's like behind some rocks or some trees that fell down or something like that, but they see his clothing. And of course we know that he does take off his clothes when he's transforming and whatnot. And everybody does have this opinion of him transforming it either into a monster or one of the people of the town. I'm thinking he transforms into Jim and infiltrates the town. For what reason, I'm not exactly sure. But
I think that all y'all who think it's Jim is wrong. I respect that you do think it's Jim. I don't agree. I don't agree with it. Doug Hugh, thank you for stopping by and everything. It's not Jim. I know that see, Jim is too easy of an answer. But I understand why. It's going to be Acosta or the new chick. It's one of them. It's one of them. When he has, we talked about this a little bit earlier, Taryn. When he has, you see the suitcase that's there, and we can clearly see when Tabitha found the suitcase, she pulled out a strand of light hair and she held it up to the light, and then there was a dress inside that suitcase. So
she found a hair. I don't remember.
Yeah, if you look, she holds her hair right up to the light. She looks at it, she finds her hair, she puts it down, then she pulls out the dress.
Nah, I love that theory though, because I mean, why else would he have that same suitcase that has a dress in it? We know what the contents of the suitcase are. And if I'm not mistaken, one of the episodes that they dropped on Facebook, Instagram, on all social medias, talked about specific episodes to watch before season 4 comes out.
I was going to mention that. I'll look for the list so we can look at. They talked about very specific episodes from each season to check out. That will be beneficial.
Let the caller still there. Let the caller speak. I'm sorry, call. I just had to drop my 2 cents.
No, for sure. Hey, I was just saying, like, no, I respect your thought as well as far as who he transforms into. I just feel like, for sure he's going to transform into someone rather than an entity. If you look at it, it kind of parallels Lost. I don't know if anybody hasn't seen that yet. I know for a while Tony hasn't seen it, but I know you saw all of it now. But
with the man in black turning into like people that he kills or people that love certain people and stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I think it'll parallel that, but also I want to say for Turn, like your whole opinion about him being a fallen angel, I totally agree with that. I remember one of the first times I called into Tony's channel, that was one of the things that I had said, that it had like a Anunnaki like basing or a fallen angel basing on it. And when it says knowledge comes with a price, when you think about it, you know, Adam and Eve, you know, when they took that bite of the fruit, you know, knowledge did come with a price. So I think it kind of it's parallel with something with fallen angels as well, or as far as what Taryn was saying. But I'll let you guys go, man. Again, I appreciate all of y'all. Y'all do a hell of a job, and you know, I can't wait for April 19th, man.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you, my friend.
100%. You want me to pull? I can pull the pictures up. If y'all want the pictures, I'll give the pictures.
The episodes, I'll have to look up what episodes they are, but it's season 1, episode 1, 7 and 8, season 2, episode 2, 6, 8, and 10, and season 3, episodes 2, 4, and 10. I have to actually bring up the episode list to see what the hell which episodes those are, but that's the episode list for people.
I'm telling you, I swear to you, I'm just telling you, it's gonna be a chick. It has nothing to do with the costume inside. The costume inside is the costume inside. Now, maybe that's his wife's or whatever, but it's the DNA and the hair that's going to allow him to transform to this person. That's what he's using to transform in this person.
Well, Smiley has a tooth, right? So maybe each monster has a piece of the person they're imitating, and that's what they need to maintain their illusion. So Smiley has a tooth.
This motherfucker cooking tonight. I'm sorry. Go ahead, fam.
There you go.
I mean, you know, this works with Tony's theory if he's thinking about DNA and more and technology, as you like to say. Then that works for his theory, and it could potentially work for my theory. It could work for Real's theory. You know, the need to possess an item works for everyone's theories. And there are a lot of objects on the show. I feel like there's a lot of emphasis on objects, on body parts. How often do they reference hearts on the show, guys? I mean, come on. Hearts, brains, ribs. They're constantly referencing these things. I wonder. I got to wonder.
100%. I agree. And I hope that, you know, the tooth, that could be the connection to it. And that could be the key to the whole glamour situation that they have, right? A piece of someone that helps them glamour. Like Melisandre in Game of Thrones, she had the ruby that was able to have her do it. But in Sir Penrose in Night of the Seven Kingdoms, we'll see that later on. It didn't happen yet, but he glamours using a pearl. And they're able to put the spell into the pearl. But what they have to have it able to do that is some type of hair or something from the person before they can do it. And as Stannis and them, they had to get the blood from the king in order to make all those things come true. So it always comes back to some type of DNA situation. And I believe the DNA, like 100%, you know, this is all science fiction to me. I don't see any magic involved at all. That's just what it is. That's what I think it is. So
scarecrows are robots, do you think?
I don't know if the scarecrows are robots. I can't give you that.
All right, so
okay.
So you know, last year, Tony, they
don't know if the scarecrows are real or if it's just someone dreaming the scarecrows. Ethan in the tent, he could easily dream that whole situation up because they could dig the scarecrows up, and then Ethan can have a dream that the scarecrows are busting in, and that whole thing can be a quick dream sequence of Ethan that's in there.
I'm not gonna lie, that'll be disappointing if that's the case.
It could be the case, though.
Can I ask a question of you guys? Have you seen the latest controversy clue from that has been noticed in the picture about the dead animal in the sack? Have you guys discussed that yet? Have you seen it?
No, but I just sent those pictures to Tony on Messenger so he could pull them up.
A dead animal in the sack?
Yeah, man. It's like, I think it's one of the dogs, to be honest. You can see it. If you zoom in, you can see it very clearly.
The man in yellow.
Those aren't the pictures.
maybe I'm looking at
No,
something.
no, he's putting up the episodes that we need to be
Oh.
watching.
Oh yeah, cool. So in the corner of one of the shots from that went online that were released before the trailer, you can see in the corner, by the pool, a sack, and it's got a dead animal inside. Looks like a dog to me. Could be a goat. It's definitely a dead animal. There's no doubt about it.
What if that's a bear skin, Taryn?
I think it's too. It's got like it's dappled in browns and blacks.
Oh, so you know the dogs in season 3 were non-existent. they you know, we had the dogs in season 1 and season 2, and then they weren't even in season 3 at all.
Yeah, although it's got this weird pink patch. The pink patch.
I saw that.
So confusing.
It
Sorry,
looks
guys,
like
that we can't.
That's
Sorry,
right
we're discussing. Oh, there it is. There it is. You can see it. And if you want to see where this image comes from, if you go one image to the left, I think it is. No, Real sent you 2 pictures, I think. One of them shows you where it comes from. But yeah, that's in the other way, I think.
Right here?
No, the other one to the left.
There. So it's in the corner there, in the bottom right.
In the bottom
and
right
then
here.
Zoomed, and then the next one is zoomed in, and you can see what we're looking at here. That, and remember, we got a bloody sack hanging from the
Jim's head is in that
well
sack.
but now is it Jim's head, because we're seeing another sack with a dead animal inside it with a weird pink patch on its belly. I'm thinking, I looked at all the goats, all the animals in seasons 1 to 3. Not a single one of them has that coloring, but the dogs, their fur, the browns and the blacks, seems to blend together more. But this could be a standard German Shepherd body model that they have, or whatever. But there it is. That might suggest that the sack hanging from the motel sign contains this dog's head.
But what would let's break it down real quick if I can. So the only one who has seen the dogs in the show is Victor and Ethan, Tabitha, and Jim. Right?
And Boyd.
And Boyd seen the dogs. That's it.
But that's a lot of people.
It's not when you look at the town in totality, right? So when you're hanging something up like that, you would think that you're hanging it up there to have the number one fear factor going on in this situation. It makes more sense to me that it's a piece of Jim that would scare the town more than dogs that they never seen before.
Oh, okay.
One second, caller. Area code 725. Welcome to the show. What do you think? Do you think it's Jim or dogs?
I think it's Jim. I really think it's Jim. But we talked about what I think happens to Jim.
Yeah.
This is Treasure. I called because I'm dying to ask you all. Did you notice Julie's story walking when the monsters were circling the RV?
Yep.
Did you notice that when Tony said a long time ago there's a woman out there? He was right. Is Julie agreeing on that?
Yes, yep. I did. You're correct.
That is a good catch.
But it ends up being Julie. How exciting is that?
It's exciting for the Don because a lot of people like to shit on the Don for whatever reason, say I get there. But I told people that there was a woman back there when that was going on, and people said something was wrong. Tony Teflon, you know what you're talking about. But 100%, there was a woman out there, and the woman is going to be Julie.
You were right on, and I do. You know what though? I'd be sadder if it was a dog's head in the. I'd be sadder, and that's really messed up. That I'd be sadder if it was a dog than him.
Yo, that's a dog for sure. You can see the mouth and you can see the paw.
Yeah, and to the overall point, Tony, like a dog, if you walked out, most people, even the average person in town that hasn't seen the dogs before, if they just saw a dog hanging, that's a pretty horrible sight to see. Like everyone's gonna get emotional over that.
It's in a bag, though. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I got it wrong. I know.
So why is Jim's head in a sack and then also a dead dog in a sack nearby?
listen, Taryn, you make 100% good sense in that, and I cannot refute it.
One second, Treasure.
I know that Jim's body is going to be hung upside down in the barn, right by that sign that they wrote. I know that's going to be there, and I think all signs lead to them getting there. So I would say it would be more pieces of Jim, a piece of Jim in the sack, a piece of Jim in the pool, and then what's left of him inside of the barn.
I also thought this, Tony, until I saw this dog. I also thought this. I was sure it was Jim's head. I was sure that pieces of Jim would be spread all over town. But would you say to someone's wife someone whose husband just had pieces of them spread all over town, would you say to them, I think they're trying to scare us about that? I think it's so obvious.
That's actually a really good point there.
It's kind of crazy to say that to someone, but if they chopped up a dog and left its body all over town, that would be like, yeah, oh, why are they doing that? To scare us? That's a more of an ambiguous activity. But anyway, that's just my theory.
No, I agree with that statement that you're saying 100% would be, but I just think that no one knows about the dogs. No one even knows there's dogs in this area. So it would be shocking for them to find out that there's a dog.
I'm also in agreement. I'm like, what the hell are they killing off the dog for? They gave us 3 seasons of what's with this mysterious dog. And then, it's a time traveling dog, apparently can story walk, because we see it in the 70s. Dogs don't live that long. Dogs don't live 40 years. So what the hell, and then they kill it off. That would be crazy. But that's what we're seeing. It looks like a dead dog. Anyway, sorry.
What if all the animals are story walking as well?
It could. I think that's likely. But we should let the caller say what she wants to say. Sorry about that.
What do I think of? What I think, Karen? I think she's awesome. I love that. I love when you guys get together like this because it's amazing. I've read your stuff, Taryn. I am a fan. I've read it deep,
thank you.
And wow, you make some points that are chronicle, just amazing. And unfortunately, I can hear my voice on the TV. But I just really want to know: does anyone like Jim? Is anyone going to be? Was anyone sad when Jim got killed?
No.
I deeply dislike Jim, and I have no reason to deeply dislike Jim. I actually dislike the entire Matthews family.
I'm sure someone likes him.
I think that Jim is the most.
I think that Jim
was the most useful character.
Right, that's what I'm saying, Taryn. I'm sure that there is. I bet there's a whole community of people that just love Jim.
No, there genuinely is. They literally call themselves. I can't even remember. There's a Discord server where you can do a. I don't know what it's called, but you can do a code which summons all the Jim fans, and they all call themselves variations of the name Jim. Like, it's hilarious. There are people who are fans of Jim. Sorry to interrupt.
I'm not necessarily a fan of Jim, but I definitely think he was the most useful character on the show. And I think Jade was number 2.
I was supposed to dislike these people, if I was supposed to dislike them, or if it was just me, or what gives. But the entire Matthews family is suspect. I thought that from the beginning. I don't particularly like any of them. Like, I loved Jade the first time I saw him on screen, loved him. I had no reason to. Just kind of talking about chemistry of actors and actresses, I really thought if I'm not supposed to dislike these people, then they're doing something bad. So I have some pretty disliking feelings towards them all.
Yeah, the Matthews family was kind of funny. But however, I think that in the Matthews family, with Julie has the most character development of anybody on the show. Like,
it's true. She's the best of the Matthews family, in my opinion.
When we first seen her, she was like picking on her little brother, and then she became, then she separated from her family.
She was a rebel.
She was rebellious, and now, she's all about.
Then she was responsible. Then she was depressed.
Yes.
Then she was depressed. Then she recovered.
Then she was brave the whole time.
And she is the most beautiful actress that I've ever seen that could scream and look so ugly ever in my life.
Yo, the scream was epic. That whole scream was epic. The facial figure, facial disfigurement, it almost looked like CGI.
Yeah, she looks so ugly when she does it that it's like I don't know how she's able to do that.
The actress who plays Marielle is a ballerina. I found that out. I wonder if that's going to be important or something. She's a ballerina. She's like a prima ballerina. She's really an excellent dancer. And I keep thinking, is this going to be some kind of callback to the ballerina That's
Oh,
it.
there's so definitely going to be possession in this show. Okay, I know it's coming. The ballerina was trying to possess Boyd, right, with the worms,
Right.
and then he passed them on. So I think that and then later, and then Boyd has the most random dream with Marielle,
But
where Smiley sort of comes at them, and then there's this weird shot where it shows Boyd pointing his gun at Marielle's head, but obviously she's to the side, but the shot is set up that way, which is kind of foreshadowing, I guess. But yeah, I think that Marielle's going to be possessed by a ballerina, and all of the actors have talents, right? They've got singing talent, they've got dancing talent, they got musical talent, like Jade. I think there's going to be some sort of weird ritual with music and dancing,
like a Buffy musical episode of some sort.
Yeah, I don't want to see no Buffy musical. Well,
I think it's more like a ritual with the stones, maybe something like that, where they sacrifice.
Since we're speaking of Julie, and you brought up the worms, what did Julie call those worms?
Thank you, Treasure.
When she came on the Don Tony Teflon's show, and I asked her about the worms, what did she call them?
Cicada worms or something?
No, she said specifically, you mean, I said, the worms, and then she said, you mean the extraterrestrial parasites?
She did say that, yeah.
That's what she said.
I mean, I don't think that any of the actors know.
I said worms, and she said, you mean the extraterrestrial parasites.
And did you get all excited when she said that?
I did. I left a little bit.
And Tony, are you the alien theory guy?
I'm the guy who made up that theory, yes. And it is alien.
And I think you have embraced that theory and you've stuck by that theory. 100%. That is Tony's theory.
And I think that when people hear it, like when you hear aliens, I think people think little green men or maybe E.T. I said alien is anything that is not originating from this planet Earth. Well, if it's Tony, somebody I don't know in an alternate dimension, Earth, they are an alien. If we, the human beings, go to Mars, we are aliens to the Mars people. All right. If someone from Mars comes here, we are. Yeah, listen, I'm not looking for Alf here. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, Phil, is that, and I'm dealing with, and I said from the beginning, this is a parallel universe intersecting with another one. And these people are time travelers, scientists conducting experiments in the pocket dimension on these people. That's what's going on. That's what it is. It's
so I know that, but Tony's also the man who came out with the jinn theory. So how does the jinn, which is supernatural, fit into the science fiction? And I do want to say this. Last season, they did add supernatural to the description of the show.
One second, guys. Area code 513. Welcome to the show.
How's it going, man?
Going. What's going on?
Teflon. Still the issues guy.
Hey.
Oh, man. I've called in a couple times, and I never really reached you guys, so I'm kind of surprised I got on.
Well, I'm so glad. I'm sorry if I miss you. If we ever hang up on you while someone else is on the line, it means we really don't want to talk to you. No, it means that we're just talking to someone else and always call back. We're actively working against you. But great to have you on the show. What is your question or comment or whatever you want to talk about up on the show? Take over. It's your show for a while. You got.
All right. Well, I was just going to say, because you guys were talking about how Tony believed that it's aliens.
Yes.
And I was going to ask if you guys have ever seen Love, Death, and Robots.
Yes.
There's an episode in Love, Death, and Robots where I think it's called like The Wrist or something. Excuse me. And so like this guy like wakes up on a ship, and he like one of the girl wakes up or something, and they're like they have like kind of like a romantic relationship or something. But then later on in the episode, the girl explains to him that the ship actually crashed and it's on an alien planet. So then he wakes up and he's like almost like a skeleton, and he's been alive the whole time, and he sees the girl and he sees the ship crashed, and then he sees the girl off in the distance, like the silhouette of her, and as it comes into the light, it turns into this like alien spider or something.
Huh.
It was really creepy. It was a good episode, but it was really creepy.
Yeah,
But,
and the way it looks like a woman,
you're
and
wondering-
then the shadows leave, and you see it's a spider, is an amazing shot.
Yeah,
It looks like a woman for a
yeah, that
second.
was crazy.
Amazing. That's the best episode of the entire series, hands down. Totally agree with you.
Yeah, I agree.
So do you think
Yeah,
you
it
think
was
something like
really
that's going to
tough.
happen here, caller? You think
Well, I've thought about it, you know, like, because I mean, I really don't know what's going on. I feel like the closer I get to believing I have an answer of what's going on in the show, the more I realize I don't know.
yeah, like grabbing spaghetti
You
or
know?
something. Yeah, like you're trying to grab a piece of spaghetti. Like I can get it. It slips away. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like, well, a couple of things that made me think that was like the plugins, you know, like how things don't really make sense, or like the wires that go into the ground that lead nowhere. Like, okay, well, maybe, you know, maybe when they see the tree, that's like like maybe they really encountered some kind of creature or something. And like in reality, they're all like in a nest, or so, like the people of the town are like in a nest somewhere, and this creature is like putting the whole town thing like in their head.
Psychic
But
parasite,
then,
perhaps.
And other times I'm like, well, maybe that's not what's going on, because for one, if it's some kind of interdimensional like alien creature, why are they all coming from different areas? Why was the boy of white manifesting outside of the town when Tabitha, you know, got out?
Well, she did follow him and then turn him around, and it was a different boy. So that's ambiguous
that
still.
Is true. So maybe it was her just kind of seeing things, you know?
I know, but why even put it in there? You see, that's the thing. This show loves plausible deniability. So they leave themselves an out for everything. They even had a blanket out by having Chris, not Chris, what's his name? Jade's, who's Jade's reincarnation? What's his name?
Christopher.
It is Christopher.
You're right, Christopher.
Sorry, it is Christopher. Yes, Christopher saying, this place lies, which means the information that arrived in Fatima's brain and the information that arrived in Tabitha's brain both could be lies, because they had that said.
That's what I've been saying. Like, that's their only way out, really, from the inconsistencies. The only thing that they really can't get away from is the inconsistency with Smiles coming through Fatima when she was already pregnant before he died. So, you know, that part really bothers me. And then the other part is the Ankui, meaning remember. Like, that there is so lame to
that
me.
Was the other thing I was going to ask about. Do you guys think that, because you guys were talking about how Jim, he's going to, like, he wasn't taken off the top actor list, you know?
Yep.
Do you think Julie's story walking, she'll eventually, I think she's going to try over and over to save Jim. And I think she's going to save him. And then maybe later on, that's what's going to help make them think, okay, well, maybe we can actually go back and save the children. Like, maybe she gets a handle on her story walking.
That's very interesting, because Tony, that's very close to kind of what you think, that she's going to kind of be like, that she's going to be trying to save Jim over and over again and maybe not being able to do it.
Yes.
But I think
get killed 1,000 times.
What was that, Carl?
I said I think maybe she will, and that'll be their you know, their clue that they could go back, that it could work, that they could go back and maybe stop the sacrifices of the children from happening.
Well, all right. I will answer this question. Let me answer this question for you. I will. You can call back after we answer it and stuff, but I'll answer this question. We do have other people. And but let me answer this question for you real quick, and explain the way that they're doing time travel in this show. Understand that the person who directed this show also directed the Game of Thrones episode of Hold the Door, right? So we have already talked about that things from Lost have somewhat appeared on this show. So we could say that they've used things that they've done before to justify or validate or lead credence, help them create where they're going. In the episode of Hold the Door, with Hodor in Game of Thrones. We see that Bran is in the physical time. He goes back into time, and while he's back in the time and told by Blood Raven that you can't affect the time. The ink is written, the page is dry. But by him warging into Hodor into the past, he is able to affect Hodor into the future. And by doing that, so when Hodor witnessing his own death, it makes Hodor become the person that he becomes, where he could only say Hodor as a child and grow up in that way, which Bran knows him the whole time. And it was him that did that. So I think that when we deal with
what episode did they? So they did that episode, but what episode did they direct him from?
No, it's the whole season of From. It's the guy who's directing the season of From.
Jack Bender?
Yes, he's the one.
Bender did the Hodor episode.
Yes.
Oh, that's crazy! I never knew that. See, you just put me on to something I never knew.
So I would
yes,
think
and he did a lot of the Lost time travel episodes as well. By the way, in fact, the one that won all the awards, it's like it was rated the #1 episode ever made for many years. From Lost, he did that one too.
Yeah, so I think that when we see Julie story walking, it will be the same as that he'll draw on that from her story walking, right? So Julie will be able to do something in the past.
Yeah, directed by John Bender.
That will affect the future. In the sense of that, you know what I mean? Like the same way he did that to Hodor, she will be able to do something to somebody that will affect that future situation from going out and everything. But I am not running away from what Real has said to me and talking about the Jinn theory and everything else. So let me address that before anyone else forgets it, because I don't want people thinking that, oh, Tony Teflon run away from it. Yes, I did say the Jinn theory, and I did make that up and everything. I will say, I don't want to sound like Stephen A. Smith, but I will say that my theories are fluid. when I get new evidence, shit changes. What will not change is my aliens, that I think it's aliens. But I will say that the concept of it is the same. I do believe that somebody said to them, listen, if you do this, sacrifice your children, you can live forever. And they took it. So it was a wish in entity. It was a wish that they went for, but it wasn't a wish from a mystical genie.
So in other words, if you're talking about jinn, then you're talking about ancient stuff. So you're saying that the supernatural aspects are a result of ancient aliens.
I'm saying the supernatural aspects are all explained away by science. And it seems supernatural to the people at that time because science, that's future technology.
Ancient aliens.
Yes, that future technology of them is so ahead of their time that it seems that is the cause. But in the end, when I look at the whole situation, it's not me who's saying this. It's experts.
We have all sorts of stories, mythologies, legends that could be interpreted as gods, who in reality were misinterpreted extraterrestrials.
Looks like proof to me.
I know someone who's going to be on that show soon. I had dinner with him the other day.
Just to back up the other thing about Jack Bender being sort of addicted to time travel, after Lost and before he did Alcatraz as well, which he worked on Alcatraz, which had some time travel elements, he submitted a pilot for a series called Rewind in 2013, which was a show about a guy whose wife died and he tried to use government forces to create a time travel experiment to save his wife or some shit like that. And the story described the process of CIA agents creating a time travel paradox of some sort. So it's
cool.
So he is. It does seem like Jack Bender really gets in. He's
a specialist. He's a specialist.
He's a time travel
specialist.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Can I quickly answer this question just so so you can get it done, Tony? I don't know what this means, because does that mean I've discounted my entire theory or something? No, of course not. Do I believe that tarot cards feature in the origin story in some way? Absolutely, I do. How major a component of the origin story it will be, I think it's very minor. I think when the curse happens, there will be a bunch of children's games, board games, card games, and stuff sort of mixed into the whole curse. But I don't necessarily believe that it's this huge component of the story. But I never did.
What if someone finds Tilly's tarot cards? I mean, the tarot cards are not really off the table because Tilly died. I mean,
listen. Let me be the first to say it. People haven't heard before. Them motherfuckers put them tarot cards on Amazon because of you, Taryn. All right, I don't care.
Ain't no, that's facts. There's no way.
They did it because of you. They did. They trolled you, and they did it because there's no doubt about it.
No doubt about it.
Let me give you a counter to that. Okay, there is another potential option, which is I am correct about the tarot.
You could be, and
I'm not saying that is another angle.
I'm not saying that you're not, but I'm not saying that you're not. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. I appreciate the live stream, great videos. We appreciate. I tried to talk to PM Theory because I think we got a lot of testosterone over here. It maybe have been good to get a woman on here.
PM is streaming with Jeremy right now.
Oh, all right. Well, congratulations. But hopefully that's going good for them. In the end, when it's all said and done, it's like, to me, I don't see the magic. Even when I think that it all can be explained away. And again, I will say this, and thank you, Will Spear, for the gifted 10 memberships. 100%. I appreciate that. I told Real about the show that they did in Fringe. These people who made this show, it's their show, Fringe, and that they took an episode from Fringe and made a whole show, this show from about it. And it's really Julie B could jump on too if she wishes. That's fine. And when it's all said and done, that's what it is. They took that concept. I don't know if you've seen that episode, Taryn, but if you watch that episode of Welcome to Westview, then it really explains what's going on in this show. Because exactly the same thing happened in that show of Fringe. 100% of what we've seen has happened in that show, has happened here on this television show. And I don't think they're going to copy it one to one, but I think they draw from that and said, we could take this and turn this into a whole series.
Didn't you say that one of the directors was like a part of that?
It is. It's the director. It's the writer who wrote this show. Wrote
the show. I gotta say, John Griffin was not involved with Fringe, and he was the one who came up with the original concept. However, Jeff Pinkner and John Griffin collaborated, and they evolved the script substantially. So, for example, conversing with Jeff Pinkner, they changed the character of Jade from a sexy 18-year-old bikini girl who was kind of vapid to a billionaire, Jade. And she was actually called Jade as well. So I don't believe,
right?
Unless John Griffin came up with a concept that was very similar to that Fringe episode, Jeff Pinkner recognized that and said, I like that, and then they collaborated on it. That is entirely a possibility, but I do not believe that the original concept was conceived based on that episode necessarily.
Wait, hold them back. How was it not conceived from that episode? Have you watched that episode?
I haven't watched it, but John Griffin was the original creator of From. That's my point.
All right. What I'm saying,
maybe he took inspiration from that episode.
I'm saying in that episode is Welcome to Westfield. They get stuck inside of a town that they drive in one way and keep looping back around inside the town, and they're stuck in the town. They can't get out.
Yeah, so John Griffin could have taken that concept and been inspired by it potentially. I could see that, but
we can't really say inspired by it when it's the exact same thing.
There's infinite loop concepts in many
but I'm saying in a town, they go to investigate a town, and they go into town and they drive in one way and they come back the same way and they can't get out. That's the show. That's what we see here. So in the end, it's
one element. Well, okay. Have you seen The Matrix?
No, it's not one. It's actually a bunch of different elements. I watched the episode.
Yes.
You told me about it. It is a bunch of different elements that are in.
You're on, caller. Feel free to jump on anytime. Welcome.
I know. I
3150.
feel like I'm trying to get in a game of double dutch.
No, here you go. We're tagging you in. Area code 315.
There are
What's
a couple different though.
I agree with Real Theories. It's different elements because there's also a Twilight Zone episode where they all get banished to a town in like a pocket dimension. Winter comes and they're starving for food. The same exact thing. There's so many. I think they just drew from inspirations on a lot of different places. But if they knew where the show was going to end when they started, which they said, they can use all that, and they're just messing with us. But that's not what I called to talk about.
What did you call to talk about?
Okay, so I'm sorry I have to get behind Tony with the alien thing because we know Jade was involved in quantum mechanics.
Don't be sorry.
Whatever.
Don't be sorry.
Sorry.
Why are you sorry you have to get behind Tony? You're like, wait, Tony, I got you, Tony, I got you. Why are you sorry? Why are you sorry?
Okay, so
I'm kidding.
I'll say this. I'm not just getting behind him doing the aliens just blindly loyal to Tony. I believe in it because first they keep billing it science fiction even if they're adding all the other stuff. It's still a science fiction. Science fiction is space, aliens, that kind of thing. Also, the quantum mechanic, I think they are stuck in a pocket dimension. I think that whatever the man in yellow is some sort of entity, alien something, and he's been in captivity for so long that he's become malevolent. And we keep seeing clues to this because, for example, in Victor's father's basement, there was a painting of Cthulhu. That's Lovecraftian. He's evil, right? I think the man in yellow is in yellow, like Hastur, Cthulhu's brother, the king in yellow. He's evil. The Dr. Mabuse stuff on the ambulance, he's evil. And they're all people who feed off of pain and, whatever. So I don't think that it's any of those things. I think those are just clues. And like Terrence said, the upside down angel, I could see that being a sign, he went from good to bad. So now he's doing these horrible things to people to feed off of their pain. And not to say it's experiment, so to speak, but I think he's being kept there against his will. I could be wrong, but it is like another dimension because Tabitha got pushed out of it.
100%. She got pushed out of it. And I will say this on that Fringe episode, right? Of that. And they were able to escape the dimension, that dimension. The way they are able to escape that dimension, and they say it, is through two things. One thing is extreme trauma allows you to escape and bounce back to your regular dimension. The second thing is speed. When you travel at a certain speed and velocity, you are able to escape that dimension. When the boy in white says to her, this is the only way. When we look at that lighthouse, that motherfucker's in the clouds. It's not it's in the clouds, literally. So when you push her out of that, it not only gives her the trauma, but gives her the velocity to transform and pull out of that dimension and wind up in the hospital. And in that episode of Fringe, and you can go back and watch the other episodes, the woman who does that and goes to the other dimension and comes back, every time she comes back, she's in the hospital. Every time. Not once, not twice, every time she is in the goddamn hospital. And when Tabitha woke up, her ass was
it was a lot of different aspects of that episode that mirror what we're seeing in From. Even they were hearing voices in the whole nine, like Sarah. Yep. And they were the voices was telling them to do stuff. Some of the people were snapping out, killing people in the town. Like, and the one guy was from the town. And so he was like the Victor kind of character where he was there, from his childhood and all that shit. And it was I watched it. When you told me that, I was like, yeah, I gotta go check it out. Boom, I checked it out. And I was sitting there like, damn, they definitely did pull some shit from this episode. I mean, I don't know if they pulled it from it, but it's damn near, it's a bunch of different shit that you're like, wait a minute, that's like From. The only thing they don't have is just like these mysteries and the monsters and whatnot. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I don't. It's not a 1-to-1, but I believe that they.
I didn't even think about the trauma and velocity in the hospital until you said it. Like, that one is crazy too. But there were a lot of different things.
Yeah, when you look at how high she's up, that's what would break us. Go ahead, Cole. I'm sorry.
Yeah, nonfiction. What's up?
No, I don't think that Jade being reincarnated into Jade is by mistake. He knows about quantum computers and stuff. And I think the man in yellow killing Jim and messing with them is to purposely stop Jade and Tabitha from figuring things out. Because if Jade figures out like where they're at, he could better figure out, oh, there's wormholes, we can get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they were starting to figure things out, and now he just did the slash, and she's grieving her husband, and she's got to take care of her kids, and her and Jade aren't talking, and that stops the progress right there.
100%. I'm with you.
Let me ask y'all a question real quick. Let me ask y'all, even the caller, you could chime in on this question. This is a question, since we're talking about Jim's death in a way, in a sense, when we talk about what's going on with Jade and what he's going to be doing now that he's got this information. And now that Jim is dead, he was the only other person that knew this information. Do you think Jim and Tabitha are going to divulge that to the rest of the people?
No way. Not a chance in hell. But I'd like to hear from the caller. Sorry, caller. Sorry, I went first. You should speak.
No,
Sorry.
it's funny how you said it, because they would sound crazy.
I agree with Taryn on it.
Can you imagine what this show would be like, guys? Tabitha, fucking remember something. Start slapping them around. Just start slapping Jade around. Fucking remember something, Jade.
The whole town
Let me start slapping Fatima.
They would blame all of them for being there. Like, it's your fault we're here.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Also a good point. And also, if you endanger the town, you could get put in the box potentially. You know, what have they done? You know, I just think it would be such a, if in any scenario where two people would know the origin of a town based on memory, everyone would just sit them down in a house and spend the entire time trying to make them remember stuff. So,
there's going to be a lot of secrets. There's going to be a lot of secrets this season.
They won't do that because they haven't done it to Victor. I'm going to let you guys go. I just wanted to.
Oh, that's another good point.
Thank you, nonfiction. Great call.
Thank you very much.
Great caller.
Right.
Was that nonfiction?
Yes, I believe it was nonfiction.
I thought it was Shorty from Florida.
She said they wouldn't do that because they haven't done that to Victor.
Yeah, but they need to do it to Victor. Like Victor needs to you need to grab Victor up and start choking.
Yeah, but Victor's like a child who starts hitting his own head when you give him too much pressure. Like, these are people who can converse with you normally. Like, you would just talk to them and just be like, what can you remember, guys? Come on. I mean, how can you just remember like sentences of facts? That's not how memories work. Like the fact that Fatima's like, they sacrificed their children because it told them they could live forever. Like, that information doesn't come to your brain in a vacuum unless you hear a voice speaking it into it, you know?
But that comes down, that comes down to perception, right? Perception versus reality. If somebody comes down out of the sky, and we're talking about people that were in the 15, 16, whatever hundreds it was, right? A long time ago. And a rocket ship comes to the sky, or an image for them comes to the sky, they would believe that these are some type of entities and everything. And if these people promise them something like a snake oil salesman and says, listen, sacrifice your kids and you live forever, they may believe that these are gods or something coming to them. But in the end, these are just regular people in astronaut suits or whatever it's going to be that are telling them this. And they just want to use them for this experiment.
Maybe they're just messing with them.
It is.
Let's see if we can get them to kill their kids.
I'm with Taryn on the information as far as like,
I can prove
especially when she says, and this is what exactly she says. She says, I saw what those things are. And then she goes on.
The things she was talking about were the monsters.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
I saw what those things are that come out at night. That's what she said.
Mm-hmm.
Now, she said that they sacrificed their children for eternal life, so that they could live forever. Now, how do you see something like that? Like, what did she see? Did she see the ritual? Like,
she's seen the initial contact of them, and
did the kimono lady break it down to her inside her head or something? Like,
yeah, but it would seem that she's seen some type of the initial talk between the leaders of the town or whoever, and whoever offered them this, right? Whoever came to them this. And I'm telling you, there's been snake oil salesmen, people who've been selling drinks and telling you if you drink it, you get super strong. There's people who've been conning people for years. From the beginning of time, they've been doing it. And this is all it was a con. And it seemed like that's what they got. And they got conned and they got stuck in this dimension. And now they're being.
You say like the jinn, that's where the jinn thing comes in, because a lot of times when you wish for something, you get it, but it's not the way that you thought it was going to be.
100%.
Just like the monkey paw kind of situation.
Yeah, and listen, this will all be in my video tomorrow, so people will watch the video tomorrow. But I'm saying, I'll give you the proof right here that right now, I'll give you the proof that this is what's going on. That these people are no more than scientists from the future dimension, and they're running these experiments on these people. If you look if you look at it. I'm telling you, I'm going to give you the proof right now, Taryn. Listen.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, let's hear it. Here we go.
That proves this right now. The fact. This is fact. When we sit back and we look at the From Town, we look at everything that's going on, and we look at our person Jade, who I believe is the one who started this, because his quantum technology that he invents in this thing is what leads to them being able to create wormholes and do all this in the future. And that's why he was brought in here. Jade says, let's go back to what Jade says when he's thinking about this place. He says specifically, these people, you are like rats in the maze looking for cheese. And it's people like me that place the cheese.
Who designed the maze and placed
the cheese. Right? People like me. It's him. It's someone like him. What is he saying?
So you're saying that Jade's sentence, what he said, is pretty much the answer to this.
That's what it is. He's telling you, you guys are like rats in the maze chasing the cheese, and it's people like me that make the maze and place the cheese. Him, a scientist, someone who creates that. That's what happened, and that's what it is.
So, okay, so let me ask you
this. It's a great data point, Tony. It's a great data point. I do not consider it proof, but I think it's a great data point.
On that data point, right? So, are you saying that the reincarnation thing is not real, and that's he's not Chris reincarnated, but he's actually where this thing started?
I think that when you deal with the reincarnation and all that, I think that, and they dealt with this in Fringe, so I could go back to Fringe in this, that when they do an experiment, that they're always a centralized data point. So even if you look at, like, say, Marvel, and they were doing their reincarnation and stuff, and they're doing their multiple dimensions, they have an anchor being in each dimension, right? There's always an anchor being. One it's Spider-Man, one it's Wolverine. And when that anchor being dies, then the whole parallel universe dies, because that person anchors them into it. So this anchor being that they are has to keep coming back in order for this pocket dimension not to die. So when you look at Christopher, the Jade, they have to, and Tabitha, they have to have them come back so that the anchor being is there in order for that pocket dimension not to crash out. And if they don't, then it would crash out.
So Jade,
why torture them?
I mean, why? It's an experiment. And we look at what it is, right? Well, let's look at the experiment. The experiment that they're doing when you see it all, is what? It's adrenaline. Fear triggers the most adrenaline. And when you get scared, that's when your adrenaline pumps the most. So it's really an adrenaline situation. And I do believe that they are experimenting on them with adrenaline with these creatures that make a type of creature and do things, but it's the adrenaline that they're really after. So in order to get the adrenaline pump they need these people to be afraid. And that's what the whole thing is going on.
So they pretty much doing some adrenochrome type shit.
Yes. That's why they have to keep their heart rates up. That's why they have to keep doing this. It's the adrenaline. It's that fear.
So what's with the hope? What's with the hope? Is there a hormone?
That was one of my.
No, the hope thing is Donna's dirty, and that's why she keeps trying to prevent everything from people actually having hope that they think that they can succeed to get out of here. Because Donna is down with this whole shit. Donna is dirty, and that's
I think Donna's dirty. I'm gonna say this. I don't think that Donna's necessarily dirty, but I think that she knows way more than what she's telling us, because we have not seen the monsters do anything like what she claims they did to her sister. And who travels around with a big ass picture of their sister like that?
Nobody. Not in the frame.
I
love my family members. I love my daughters.
Took that on a camping trip. You took that on a hunting trip. That makes sense. Like, come on, like how can you have that?
Guys, if you think pain is important, right? And then you've got Abby saying it's hope that feeds the forest, Boyd. Yeah. Right? That's the climax of season 2. And then what is it that we learned at the end of season 3? The answers to the end are at the beginning. Children were born and murdered in the dark by people they loved and trusted.
And they
but someone who loved them told a story that gave them hope. When the children laid on the stones, they poured their hope into the roots that made the symbol, and those roots became the faraway tree. I mean, what is?
Did they say that?
Yes,
they didn't say that.
No, it's not an exact quote, because then Sarah says
it didn't say that tree became the faraway tree, did it?
Tabitha says it, and Sarah guesses it.
She's like, "What tree? The faraway tree?" And
yes, but Sarah guesses the faraway tree.
It could mean all the different trees that have fallen. It could mean that.
Say again.
It could mean the different trees that have fallen, because when Jade looks through the roots, there's no tree there. He can see the sky through the roots.
That is interesting, but just listen for a second. Victor said they poured their hope into the roots that made the symbol, and those roots became the tree. And then Sarah says the faraway tree, and then he goes on to say the blue and white, blah 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 blah. So so technically, it's Sarah's guess that it's the faraway tree.
Right. It's not a. It's not a. They didn't say that that's what it was. You know what I'm saying?
There's only one. There's many faraway trees as well. So how can it be the? But either way, hope is poured into hope is poured into a symbol that makes roots, that makes the tree, whatever that tree may be. Right. So how does that square with your theory of scientists from the future torturing humans for their fear hormone chemicals?
Because it all depends on how you look at the town that they're in. If this is an alternate dimension, which I believe are parallel universe or pocket universe that they put them in, and the parallel dimension is crossing over with it, it explains that how can people's fears be transferred into this town, right? So when we look at the Cicadias, and Julie's, and not Julie, and Sarah says her brother was afraid of them, and then they were produced inside of this world, then it would be easy for the children to do the same thing and produce their hope. It doesn't have to be fear. To them, it was hope into this world in order for them to do whatever they need to do with it. So it seems that the world they're in, whether you want to say it's a nightmare realm that is crossed over, that their pocket is, and that's why they're able to create things.
Okay,
that's how they would create these things, or like an Inception situation where you have people that are builders in that world, where you can build things from your thoughts and everything, and that's how they build the things. But that is the reason why when you look at they create this world, and if you even look at it, Inception, right? You create the world and you see that the world is there's a telephone there, and there's obviously a line that runs to it. You automatically just assume that the line is full with wire, but when you open up the wire, there's no wire in it because the world is created. It's created for you to believe that this is what it is, so it has to look realistic for it and everything. And when you look, even in that episode of Friends, I'll go back to that real quick. In that episode, the town had power, but no one knew how the power was, but the power was created from the actual world itself being crossed over with another dimension, and that power led to having everything able to have power in that dimension. And that's the same thing that's happening here.
Nah, that was one of the aspects that I found that was like it. I want to say this. Let's go over this real quick. Check this out. So the show does say science fiction.
It does.
It does say science fiction. However, they did add in the third season, they did add the supernatural aspect.
They did put the supernatural thing in there.
I want to ask Taryn, how do you grapple with the fact that the show is billed as science fiction? And Tony, how do you grapple with it being billed as supernatural?
Well, here's my view about that, is that in the TV show realm, there are very, very broad labels used to tell people what the show is about. And I think that fantasy in TV shows at the moment has certain connotations that make people think of the show in a certain way. So I don't think they would use fantasy because people think elves and dragons and all that kind of stuff.
Thrones, Lord of the Rings type stuff.
Exactly. I don't think that's what it's about. So, okay. So supernatural is not always a category that people use, to be honest. Like, you can describe it as a supernatural show, but I think in the trades, I don't think supernatural is its own category necessarily. It might be paranormal or something, but typically it's horror, science fiction, fantasy. So I think that when they had to pick two categories, they went with horror and sci-fi, because sci-fi and horror are more interlinked. But that's just my view. I've seen many, many horror shows. No, actually not horror shows, but more horror films that are labeled sci-fi, but they're not really. They're more fantasy than sci-fi. But fantasy has those connotations, so they avoid it. But I don't think it's an accurate description necessarily, but it was a category that they picked on IMDb. So I just don't know. I'm seeing a lot more fantasy stuff than sci-fi on the show.
They've added a new one now too. And now that you've answered it, pretty much you're saying that the billing for the show can be broad at times. And, you know, I feel you on that. But they've added another one as well, folk horror. That's very interesting. So how do you grapple with that, Tony?
I would say this, and I see the comments that are left there, and I respect everything that Taryn is saying. Obviously, 4 times is 4 times, right? If it's labeled as sci-fi horror 4 times in a row, that means it has something to do with horror and it has something to do with sci-fi, regardless whether it's supernatural or everything. 4 times in a row. They've never skipped the beat with that. Other things are added on later. So in the beginning, when they started the show, when they first came out, they considered it a sci-fi horror. Now, sci-fi horror can look like fantasy. I'll give you an example. If we look at It, that looks like a horror show, but in the end, it is an extra dimensional alien who is killing these people. And it seems like there's supernatural powers involved in there with people who are able to do things in telekinesis and all that. But in the end, it's sci-fi. We could look at the movie The Thing. The Thing looks like a horror movie, but in the end, it's a creature that is able to turn and shapeshift into the people of the crew. It's sci-fi though, right? So when we look at it in those lenses, which we see the man in yellow look like he's about to transform into somebody, we can see that how sci-fi works its way into it. And there's nothing that cannot be explained. And that inside in what science that people would not consider science, dealing with the time period that they're in, because it looks like magic to them, but in the end, it's really just science. And it does, I can go through a billion things. You could look at the Resident Evil franchise, that when you see every one of those monsters, they look like they're mythical monsters. But in the end, it was a virus that caused them to do it. You could look at Lady Deetramess, who was looked like she was a vampire and ate blood in the Resident Evil series. But it was when she got hit with the virus that turned her into that, and then enabled her fingers to grow real long nails and kill people with her nails, just like these creatures do. So when you look at the science part of it, it's an infection that was put inside of people that turned them into what look like monsters and look like supernatural situations. And when I look at Julie, the actress who called these things extraterrestrial parasites, which no one encouraged her to say, I could easily see a script that she was given, because she was seeing Martin at that time, and the script explaining to her, Julie walks into the room and sees blah 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 chained up to the wall, infected with an extraterrestrial parasites. Martin, hey Julie, he needs the rope. Julie, oh, how do you know my name? I could easily see the script being written that way, so that's why she would refer to it as that way, other than just worms. So when I see everything there and I look at it, that's what it seems like to me. All these things that seem mystical, in the end, story walking and all that is easily displayed in quantum physics. You know, when you look at two molecules in the same place at the same time, is easily as a quantum physics thing, which Jade just happens to be a quantum physics person who just sold this company because of that. And the guy who just said that the people who make traps like this are people like him. So when I add all that up together, to me, it's a sci-fi thing more than a supernatural, masquerading as supernatural.
Okay, I like the comparison.
It's a great comparison
to It. I like the comparison to Stephen King's It. You know, there are other examples. There are plenty examples actually of what you're saying and how that's done. And I want to ask Taryn, since there is sci-fi in the category, what do you see any reflection of sci-fi in it so far?
Absolutely. So I must say that time travel and sci-fi, at least in the book world, are categorized together. So I would like even the fantasy ones where the time travel comes from fantasy, it's often categorized in the sci-fi section. So for example, the that Scottish one with the time travel, forgotten what it's called now. It's Outlander, I think it's called. That one often gets categorized as sci-fi, even though you know it's historical time travel through magic stones. So I think the time travel is certainly a sci-fi-ish element. I think the radio stuff with the wires can be considered quite sci-fi. That's about it, to be honest, for me personally. In terms of what's in your face, obviously, Tony, is, as you say, the final answer to the mystery might be sci-fi, but it's hard. It certainly does seem contradictory in that they've built a show where for 3 seasons we've seen very little in the way of actually in your face, you know, technological elements being used. So it's almost like it's almost like I made a TV series set in space, but I called it a fantasy, even though it's all sci-fi and laser beams and guns and technology. And then right at the very end, it turns out that there's like a magical angel being that's been controlling everything, and everything we saw was like like that we thought were holograms or something else. Like it's like you only find out it's fantasy at the very, very end, but you've made someone watch 3 series,
Doug Hugh
3 seasons.
Doug Hugh agrees with you. He says, I always seen this as supernatural series right from the word go. Right.
But supernatural mystery horror is what they should have gone with, in my opinion.
It's not, but they didn't. And I will say this, real. I'm gonna give you an example, Taryn, of a movie that did exactly that and turned out to be sci-fi. Real. What was the name of the movie you told me to watch with Lawrence Fishburne?
With Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne. At the end, he comes out and the space comes off the thing, and he's like,
"Oh yeah." I can't think of the name of that movie, but yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Where he was he looked like a man in a spacesuit, but he was really an alien.
Yeah. So the whole
Signal.
Movie,
that's it. That's it.
The Signal. So if you watch that movie, The Signal, you will see that whole time, the way they present that movie, the whole movie is presented as this is some supernatural thing. This is everything else. But in the end, when they show Lawrence Fishburne in the spacesuit and his face comes out, you realize that he's been an alien the whole time. But it was
presented. And they have him on like this flat disc that they're experimenting on humans on this disc, and they're giving them like super bionic limbs and shit like that, and they give him a pair. He loses his legs or something. They give him a pair of legs that he can run real fast with, and he breaks through the glass. And he
yes, although I remember watching that, but that doesn't change genre. That starts as sci-fi and ends as sci-fi.
They do not tell you that what it's going. They do not tell you how it's being presented. This is not. If you say break genre,
he's got bionic legs.
But that's not. But they put you on to it, making you think that it's humans that are doing it to him. Until in the end, he's
sci-fi doesn't need aliens.
Yeah, exactly. I think that what Taryn is saying that
sci-fi does not need aliens at all. I would not.
Right, just like I think he's saying that there are different things that can be categorized as sci-fi, and we're seeing some of them as far as time travel, as far as teleportation, as far
teleportation. Yeah, that's
like
true.
These things, like with the faraway trees and the teleportation. I think that he is saying that justifies the title for sci-fi, and I think it's very interesting, Tony, that they add supernatural horror and they also add folk horror. Last year they added supernatural. This year they added folk horror. I'm with you. I'm with you. I wouldn't be mad if it was aliens in the way that you're saying, as far as it being ancient aliens, like like how the Ancient Aliens guy, you got the clip you got right there, how he says like a lot of people interpreted these things as deities and whatnot, where they were actually extraterrestrial. So like, I mean, I'm not mad at that theory at all. I think that definitely could track. Does that negate the fact that it's supernatural? I don't think so. You know what I'm saying?
I think that what some may consider to be supernatural can be explained away by science, and I think that's the way it's going to go. When we look at the picture that they put up, they put the picture up themselves, right, from people. And let me see if I can grab the picture of the man. And they said the people are from when they put that picture up that this is like the end game person, right? This is not an alien. This is a human being in a suit with red goggles. I mean, it's obvious that that's what that person is. And,
talking about one of Victor's drawings.
Yeah, and they put that picture up. They said it. They said, if you go back to the post on Instagram, when they put that up, you can see.
Taryn said that was the boogeyman.
Yeah, no, with goggles on? The man has red goggles on.
I believe they are red eyes.
Well, let me see if I can find the picture real quick.
If we're talking about the same picture, I don't know which one.
Yeah, we talk. Yeah, you're talking about the same picture.
It's all they made it all black, right? They painted the face all black, and then there's two red eyes.
Yes.
Let's pull. I'll pull it up, and let's see if I could grab the picture up. All right.
Yo, shout out to being so locked into this show, y'all, that we can think of pictures and know what each other is talking about. Like, that's some fandom shit right there.
I'm going back, and right now I'm actively listening to the interview with Hannah to try to find the part where she says the thing about the worms. I'm scanning a 2-hour video right now.
Word, like that's some fandom shit right there.
All right, let's go. It's kind of real quick. Let's pull it. All right, so this is the picture, right?
There he is.
All right. So Taryn, you said that this is what?
Well, it's just red eyes on a man in black, basically.
But I'm saying you can see that the red stops here, and then there's a lens around that, right?
That's
a circular lens going all around that. The red is stopping right here, and then there's a lens right here. That's a goggle. Right there, this person is wearing.
Could be pupils. Could be large pupils.
No, come on, Taryn.
My friend, I believe it,
brother. We can't.
How are those goggles? How are those goggles hanging on his face? Where's the straps?
I'm gonna say why.
Where's the straps?
It's dark, brother. You can't see the strap. It's dark. You're not going to be able to see the strap in the dark. But you can. But they purposely made it so that you can see. That there are circles, not just one circle, 2 circles around the red. Right? There's 2 of them there. It's not
why are they wearing red goggles?
I can tell you exactly why. So in Fringe, let me go back to Fringe real quick for you. In Fringe, the people who were doing the experiments, they wore these goggles on them so that they can actually see inside people's DNA. And they had to wear these special suits because when they went through the fringe zones, it would affect their body. So their body was too weak because they were really pale, like white people in there. If you're looking at like whites, that they had to wear these suits when they went back into the fringe zone. And they wore the goggles that they could actually see inside of people and see their DNA code.
Now, I don't know about that, but I gotta keep it a beanbag. I see the rim of what you talk, like the rims of the eyes.
I'm not saying that they're doing that 1-to-1, and that's why they're wearing the goggles. But what I am saying is that it's obvious that these are goggles, and these are not red pupils on this guy. They put that around there so that you can see. But to Victor or anyone who drew this, if this person's walking out the shadows, all they're going to see is the red, but they could see the goggles on them and everything else is in a silhouette. But that
Tony
right there,
Tony, can I don't want to break your heart, but I'm going to show you something that will break your heart.
Please.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, my friend.
No.
Please watch this video. Oh, hang on. I'm going to have to send it to send to you. Sorry, I don't have
It's a video or what?
It's a video on Twitter where it shows you them adding the red to the drawing.
Oh,
if you can bring it up.
Do what? This drawing?
Yeah, it's like a video of a drawing, and it's got no red eyes, and then the red eyes appear.
All right. Let's see the video. But the goggles are around the eye here. And then they add the red.
I gotta say this though.
Watch
Tony,
it and see.
check this out. The monster's eyes look like that too, though. They have the rim around them, and they're circular. They're not like oval shaped. They're circular. And their eyes, the monsters, when they change,
they don't have red eyeball. This is not eyeball. Like When Victor draws,
I mean, this is a children's drawing too.
Tony, you got to show the video, man. You got to show the video.
We can go through Victor's drawing. We can
I sent it to you, man. I just sent it to you. It's a link.
Let me put it up for you.
Okay. Oh, just put a link.
We can go through Victor's drawings of creatures. Let me see if I can find some for you real quick. Here. But we can go through his drawings of creatures that we have seen in his drawing specifically, and we can see that there is not one of them at all that has red goggles like that when he draws their eyes. All right, here's a couple here.
You see the chat right there?
This is one. This is another one. I mean, we don't see any red goggles on their eyes,
and we don't see any circular eyes. I got to get that to you though.
Right? It's just regular eyes there, right? So, but when we look at that whole situation, we see that is totally a different situation when he's dealing with drawing with these monsters.
Do you think they're goggles though?
Yes, they're goggles.
I think this video proves
that's hilarious, bro. I'm not even gonna hold you.
I'm telling you, it's goggles, man.
Rio, just send him the video.
I did. I put it in the chat.
Oh, it's in the private chat.
Yeah, I put the link in the chat.
Just put it on your Facebook thing, so it's easier for me to grab it there.
Okay, hold on. Okay, there you go.
Sorry, Tony. I wish I could send it to you.
No, it's fine. That's fine. That's fine. So
no, that shit is hilarious.
It's not hilarious. It's Tony's gonna say that it's the goggles getting turned on.
Don't give me my reason.
No, I'm looking at it right now, and when you said that, that's hilarious because
which Tony is totally entitled to do. It's a perfectly legitimate explanation for this video.
Yeah, it kind of is. I mean, oh yeah. That's crazy how they did that. What does that mean? What is that thing? When is this post from? This post is from 4 years ago, bro.
It says the monsters are real and they will get you.
This is a Twitter post from 4 years ago. That's crazy. This is the type of fandom shit that I'm here for.
I am so glad you said this. Let me. This is amazing. And I'm so glad you said this.
This is technology. This is technology.
Proves my point. It really does. Let's go through it real quick. There you go.
That looks like the eyes turning red to me, like a vampire.
Yo, back it up so we can see it again.
It's gonna play it again. I mean, it looks like the goggles are off, and then they turn the light on.
Oh, okay.
What else would that mean?
Yo,
look, Tony has his supporters in the comments saying that looks even more goggly. So Tony is entitled to his opinion on this
somebody
matter.
said what in the comments?
They're saying that it looks even
that
more
really
goggly.
It shows that the goggles and the light comes on in the light. And
dude, those are the pupils going red.
That's not a pupil. A pupil is pretty small. I have them. I know what my pupil look like. It's pretty small. It ain't big like that.
Oh wow! You know what's funny? Someone tagged you in the comments of this Twitter post. There's 5 comments, and one of them is there's 4 comments, and one of them is someone tagging you.
Are you serious?
Get out of here!
Yeah, seriously. Scroll down, you'll see it.
That's amazing.
Scroll down. Go.
I see it. Somebody tagged you in this shit 3 years ago, bro.
Oh, it makes you log in and shit. Anyway, don't worry. It's not that exciting, but yeah, there's someone in. Oh, you're signing in.
Somebody tagged you in this 3 years
someone
ago.
Tagged Tony. They tagged Tony. Yeah. Tony needs to see this.
I mean, it to me, it looks like goggles, bro. I mean, it looks really pronounced to me. As Eddie Ho says, it really.
Yo, I don't know what to think about this now because.
All right, let's see. Phil, you haven't spoken in a while.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. It looks like it's definitely purposely drawn as a rimmed circle. Like it's
it's the rims that is the thing that keeps me with glasses. Like
me too.
It looks like you can actually see the rounded rims. I'm looking at it now.
Okay, on TV shows and films, when eyes flash red, is it a common trope that eyes flash red when it's werewolves, when it's vampires, when it's monsters? 100%. When have we seen goggles flashing red?
I mean,
when John Lennon is playing a song sometimes.
John Lennon,
I'm just saying, Occam's razor. Okay, this is Occam's razor. The simplest solution is often the most likely.
It is, and I think the simple solution to this is that it's goggles. I think that they show them black, and then they show them turn on. To say that's a pupil is what you're saying is when it's the size as the whole goggle.
Maybe the red is the reflection of what they're watching from the glasses, like something is glowing red reflecting off of it that the person's looking at.
That could be, yo.
You never know. It doesn't prove anything.
I don't make things like this. He's wearing like Dwayne Wayne in different words.
Yeah, it kind of looks like Dwayne Wayne.
I mean,
Whitley.
I mean, it's not. They did the double ring. It's not even they did the one.
Tony, you gotta turn that volume off.
2 circles around it. Like they did not just the 1, 2 circles that let you know that this ain't an eyeball. Like if you do an eyeball, you would just do the inside circle. They did an outside motherfucker around the motherfucker to let you know that this shit ain't that.
It's double monocles. It's not goggles. It's 2 monocles.
You know what I mean? So it would just if it was just one.
Okay, Tony.
What if I told you? I could say this. About the strap. Or the ear things that go around the ear, they wouldn't put that in there just for that plausible deniability.
No, and if it's black, you wouldn't see that part because we just see it in this picture, the red is what flashes. So if the ear straps are going back behind the ear, they're not going to show that.
But
they're going to show just the red.
If you look at these monsters when they're in their monster form, they have circular eyes, and it has like a rim around it.
Yes, they have double eyelids. Which I thought was quite interesting.
Like these, I'm looking at the gram.
You said double eyelids.
Yes, like a bird or a crocodile. That's great.
So let me explain to you something about that episode of Westfield once again. In that episode of Westfield, the people with the parallel universes merging. The people in there were merging with their parallel universes selves, so they developed extra rows of teeth, extra organs, and also some of them actually had pieces of the other place placed in their body, like a telephone was stuck in the one guy's body because he was standing in a different place in the alternate dimension. Another person had a umbrella stuck into his body because he was standing in another place in the alternate dimension. So when we look at that, and then we also look at what happened to our boy getting put inside of the pool or anything like that, we can easily see that the alternate dimension thing is easily for that to have happened, and that's why they're showing it.
I got a question for everyone.
And ever since that episode,
looks just like that, Phil. I think you're right, Phil. I think you're right.
What do you put there?
Sorry.
Keep
it like that, Phil. It's great. Keep it, man.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. You get up. So Phil's over here trying to put some cement on this one right here.
Hey, doesn't Doc Kaiju wear those glasses all the time as well?
Does.
He does. Those are his glasses, I think.
Doc Kaiju might be behind this whole motherfucker.
Yeah, that's true. Doc
Red
Kaiju is
Victoria's
secretly John
Secret.
Griffin. Guys, did you not know Doc Kaiju was secretly John Griffin?
Maybe Doc Kaiju running this shit.
Hey,
right
listen, I have a mad conspiracy theory. You got to hear me out, okay?
Yes,
John
sir.
Griffin was an actor for most of his life. What if there was a screenwriter who's like, I want to be anonymous. Maybe it's Stephen King. I don't want anyone to know I wrote From. I'm going to hire an actor to pretend to be the writer of From, have him do interviews, and then it's all revealed at the end. It was Stephen King who wrote From the whole time. I'm just kidding because I've looked into John Griffin and he did all the screenwriter stuff. But it would be an interesting conspiracy theory.
It would be.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you something. Debbie Ebby Bo Bebby asked me a question. I hope she don't mind me reading this text. Hold on. She asked me a question, and she was talking about the Stephen King thing you just said. Hold on. Let me see here. Where is
Hey, you guys know that John Griffin cameoed on Stephen King's most recent TV show, The Institute, right?
She said
he did.
The old theme song, Man in Yellow's an ancient shape-shifting interdimensional entity like Skelly Man, the Galoo, scarecrow monster, looking like young Wingstop. Really seems like Victor and Eloise drawings come to life, but I've been saying since the beginning of this whole shit, it tastes like Stephen King. And it really fucking does. And then Stephen King dropping the shout out during season 2, trying to make it like kind of like, you know, I'm putting my stamp on this show right here. Like, and then Bender ends up directing the Institute, and little Avery from the Institute ends up playing little Jade in the trailer. You see little Jade. I think that's Avery. Then you have Henry's in the Institute as well. Like, come on. Then the girl that got stuck to the pole also was in the Institute.
She was in the first episode.
Yeah, she was in the first episode.
And so was Pratt. What's his name? The dad. The dad from Megan's dad.
Megan's dad was in there, and he was traveling down the road with his family, and they got stopped and turned around.
Hey, do you know what? Like do you know what Stephen King's wife's name is? Tabitha.
Tabitha, yeah, it was on the tip of my tongue. Tabitha.
And Jack Bender and Stephen King have been friends for many years. In fact, Jack Bender has directed other shows and films related
Under
to
the
Stephen
Dome.
King.
He did Under the Dome as well.
That was it. And then here's the other thing. John Griffin appeared on Stephen King's show, The Institute, as the guy who shovels the bodies, spoilers, guys, sorry.
Yes.
Into the furnace.
I wish
John Griffin has a crazy cameo.
I hope they do, if they get a season 2, which I think they are, that they do a better job with it. I like the Institute, but I just think they could have did more with it. And
the problem with the Institute is that it's extremely original, but everyone's copied it, and then it got its TV show too late. So everyone's seen Stranger Things, everyone's seen Young Mutants, everyone's seen all these versions of kids with superpowers get stuck in an institution where they're treated badly. So it feels like you've seen it many times before, but it's actually extremely original. So that's what I find. It's a shame because it sort of came up with that original concept, and then everyone feels like it's unoriginal and bland because they've seen it all before. So it's kind of.
Have any of you guys ever seen Mr. Mercedes? It's the other show that they collaborated on. I've never heard of it.
No,
it's I think it's Mrs. Mercedes, and they actually reference it on From, believe it or not. Yeah, I'll tell you how in a minute. I think it's the woman who owns the car that Victor is talking about with Henry. Whatever it was called.
Tony, look at that picture that I just sent you. Pull that up and zoom in on his eyes.
I seen it.
He has this like a pause, the skin rim around his eyes. Pause.
Skin rim.
It's sorry, I was thinking of something else. There's a TV show called Mrs. Davis, which is made by one of the creators of From, and I thought they were Damon Lindelof made a TV series called Mrs. Davis that came out recently. And Victor, when he's talking about the car in his room, he says, that belonged to Mrs. David. Is that right? What was Mrs. Davis doing with one of these? So they use her name twice. So I think it was a reference to Damon Lindelof and his new TV show as a little Easter egg. Just throwing that out there. Oh yeah, I found a version where there's nothing there. It's just all black.
But look, go to the one in the left.
That's the only one I can go to because I only got that one.
No, that one right there.
Yeah.
Now zoom in on his eyes.
I can't when I'm on this picture of this one.
Okay.
Because I'm doing it in the Facebook thing.
I don't know if you guys can see that there. There you go.
All right.
I don't know if you guys can see that there, but he has the circular eyes and it's like a little rim around it too. Now I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it's like but it's a perfect rim like what you see in that picture. And his head kind of looks like that too.
His head definitely looks like that. I would say the ear even looks like that, but that ain't the goggles that we just see. The goggles is the goggles, brother. I think that's what it is. Thank you for the super chat, the real rebel Eric. It's Cyclops Doorman Dr. Robotics. I just, especially the way they did it in Terran. Thank you. I'd never seen that. And you know that they had it flash on the red eyes. Like you don't just flash that on. That's like Black Manta. You know what I mean?
Tony is convinced, my friends. He is finding the evidence. You're going to add that to your pile of data.
I'm going to. Now I'm going to go there.
The flashing goggle theory. The flashing goggles theory.
When this is all said and done, and it's all done, and when this is all over, I promise you all that this will be scientists conducting an experiment from the future on these people.
What are the parameters of your actual bet with the hot chip?
For who? For which one? I have a bet with Doug Hugh on. He bet me.
I know.
Oh wait, what bet do you have with Doug Hughes? What's that?
I have a bet with Doug Hugh that I said that Donna is the mole. He said she's not, and that's a hot chip bet for that.
I say Tony shouldn't bet with people that have the script, but that's just my take.
Yeah. Wait, when did you make this bet? Was it recently?
Couple of days ago.
It was like Thursday.
Oh, that is a terrible idea, Tony.
Thank you, Tony.
What are you doing?
Wait,
that's a terrible
I'm talking
idea.
about this hot chip bet. What's the deal with the
Doug has only been listen, let me put it like this. All right. Let me put it like this.
Doug Dr. Robotnik.
He was in one episode in the last season, so I figured he got one script, and he didn't even work with the actress Elizabeth Saunders at that time. And I'm gonna say maybe I'm gonna give him how much total screen time can we have for the Man in Yellow here? I would say
I'm feeling terrible about that because I feel like we're gonna lose Doug Hughes in episode 2.
I know, Doug. I know you're not Doug.
No, listen, I don't think he's basing on information, and I think that would be unhonorable, and I don't think he's that. I think he truly believes she's not, and I think he's wrong, and I think that all evidence points to her being the mole, and I think that's what it's going to be, because I figured Doug's probably got about, I would say, in the whole season, 20 minutes of screen time for the Man in Yellow. I don't think it's going to take more than that. For the whole season.
For the whole season?
Yeah, for the whole season.
That's
a lot. 20
that's a
minutes.
lot. I was gonna say that's a lot.
That's a lot, So I would say, and it's not like he's working, every character works with every character. Like we don't know if the Man in Yellow has a scene with Elizabeth Saunders.
Because anything more than that would make him close to a main character.
Yeah, so I would say, we don't know who he has scenes with. I would say he has scenes with Julie. He has scenes with the flashback Jim. He's going to have a scene, I would say, hopefully with Boyd. We'll figure this out, but I don't know if it doesn't make sense for him to have a scene with Donna, so I don't think he would know what's going on with Donna. I'm going from the information from the beginning. I'm not the only one who thinks this. The actual character in the show thought this. Randall thought this. That's why he chained it to the tree, right? Because he thought she was in on something. So I'm going to look at that and I'm saying he thought it, but then it was never proven his theory. His theory was, let's try it, put it to the tree and see if the monsters attack her. and they removed it from the tree before that theory could be proven.
Yo, I gotta say this about Donna. I was the first one to point out that Donna always has her hands in her pocket.
Mm-hmm. She does, and that is one of the things that they teach you not to do in acting school, especially in stage acting. So I feel like that would have to be a direction. It really would. And also, she is acted in lots of different films and TV series. I've watched her in them.
She's an acting coach.
It's very intentional. It's very
her having her hands in her pocket is definitely out of direction.
Yeah. Although to be fair, she did this film where she smoked a lot and her hands were in her pockets quite a bit for that one. But I also think that was intentional because
that
she's
was
like
intentional.
And it's intentional. She needed to like get her cigarettes in the pockets and stuff.
Oh yeah, well, that's true. Why does she have her hands in her pockets?
Do y'all think that Henry is going to smash Donna this season?
I'm scared to say anything about it because her husband tried to get on me about that last year when I did the interview with her. And he
there are sex parties in
Colony House. He got a little mad about that. He got a little like I said to him. I said, Henry seemed like him and Donna were having something going on. He was like, I don't see that. What are you talking about?
You don't have chemistry. What are you? I don't see that.
He got a little touchy. He got a little
Henry ain't got any for a while. That's a guy who everyone thought murdered his wife and kid and has been living alone in Camden, Maine his whole life.
In the trailer, we see him walking with Tabitha, right? That's what we see him right there. You know what I mean? So we see him walking with Tabitha to the bottle tree in the trailer, right? So that's the shot we get with Henry. You would think that would the reincarnation actually reincarnate feelings? Like she would have feelings for Henry also?
Oh, that would be crazy. No. I don't think so.
No.
I hope not.
Unless she's getting a different kind of goggles through time travel, like time traveling beer goggles. I don't think she's going to go there.
See, that was what I disliked the most about.
No, but Henry was getting some ass in the institute, though.
Yeah, Henry was. Yeah,
but it's a different audience there. You know.
Right. All I can say, this isn't even a love triangle.
The utility room. He's in the storage room. Like,
he was
Doug.
Yeah, I think he might. I don't know. He might smash Donna this season.
Doug is on my side here. Let me find this comment. Yeah, I hope Kenny gets some too, Doug.
Yeah, there's one thing that's gonna happen. We could all depend on that. Kenny ain't getting no goddamn.
No, ass. Kenny's getting some.
Kenny ain't getting no ass. Kenny ain't getting no ass.
Kenny is getting some. He's getting some.
We're
not going to do that to this kid again.
I mean, he done pulled at the funeral. He's standing next to the new girl, Sophia. So he might.
That's not a smart move.
That's who it's going to be. But Sophia is going to be killed and replaced by the man in yellow.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think so. I think Sophia is super important. Sophia is the first character.
That's her importance. That she's the man in yellow.
Sophia is the first character that they announced her name before. Like they announced her name back in August.
Yeah.
Like
yes.
They've always told us when we were getting new cast members, but they never told us the cast members the character name.
Yeah, but why would they say specifically, right? Specifically, what the roll call is who is the man in yellow? Right. That's what they say for when they announce the season and they give the synopsis. They specifically say who is the man in yellow, and then what does this role of new Sophia have, right? So when you
like what Debbie been saying, she been saying that Sophia might start some sort of cult with her vibes. Her vibes are real culty. She's supposed to be the preacher's daughter.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I think that she might be the one to walk around saying Bible verses and shit like that. And she's brought the only Bible in that we've seen on the show. She's brought that into town. We saw that from the teaser.
Yeah.
I think that people are going to be drawn to her because people really were all about praying and stuff like that. Like they were sitting in a circle praying with Tilly. I think her coming into town is going to change the dynamic. People are going to feel sorry for her because she lost her father. The crows are going to show up at the funeral. I think they're showing up for her.
Why? Like, because she's the man in yellow?
No, I think that she's gonna be like a pinnacle character that's gonna bring like the scales are already
how
there.
more pinnacle could she be if she's the man in yellow and the man in yellow takes her out and then assumes her identity?
There's gotta be a reason. There's gotta be a reason for them announcing what the character's name is, like way months before.
Turn down your radio 256.
Yeah, because she's important because she's the man in yellow.
1 second.
That's her importance. And that's why
think she's the man in yellow.
I think the man in yellow becomes her. I think he kills her and uses her hair that's inside of the suitcase to become her with the DNA.
Okay.
And then goes back into town as her and seduces Kenny.
1 second, caller.
To get close to everybody. And then that's how she's out there.
Let the caller go, and then I want to say something real quick about Sophia. So let the caller go, and after the caller is done, he might have questions for us or whatnot. I'll say what I have to say about Sophia.
What's going on, 256?
What's up, everybody, man? What's up, Tony? What's up, Karen? What's up, Phil?
Hey, how's it going, man?
What's up, Real?
Okay, what's going on?
Hello.
Hey, it's Ray Barnes, man. Holler at you in a minute, Real.
Oh, yes, indeed. What's going on, Ray?
What's up, my green skin brother?
My green skin brother. What's going on?
Okay. Hey, I holler at you on Discord a little bit later, man.
I'm hardly ever on Discord, B. Like, just, you could message me on IG. If I'll check those. I'm hardly ever on there either. I'm not really social media, but yo, hit me and I'll get to it. Sure.
Yeah, man. We'll get back to it. But,
yes, indeed. I know you got some heat real quick. Give us some heat. I know you got some heat, Ray.
Yeah, I heard you say something about the crows. And I was watching the trailer, and I was just thinking to myself, just listening, and them crows don't really sound like crows. Crows can talk and stuff. Crows are really smart. They're part of the corvid family.
Okay.
So I feel like.
So what do you think? They're ravens?
Crows or ravens. They both part of the corvid family, and they both smart. They're really smart. They can talk just like we can talk.
I think them showing up at the funeral definitely gives off crow vibes, because I don't know, like crows actually have funerals and they have gatherings when one of them dies.
And they remember and all that.
And they remember like they remember
like motherfuckers.
What you say there?
I said they remember like motherfuckers. They really do.
Yeah. They remember.
So there was a university experiment where they had two people, one dressed in a Hillary Clinton mask and one in a Bill Clinton mask. They would go and attack these crows and harass them during the day. And then they would wear the masks across campus, and the crows would dive bomb them and poop on them and drop things on them when they wore the masks. But when they take them off, they wouldn't attack them. It's because the crows had learned to recognize them from just from their faces alone.
And they hold freaking grudges.
Yes,
yeah, they have wars and everything.
Yeah, dude, like totally. They do.
Oh, that's wild.
Just speaking on it, I was thinking in my mind, I think in this next season we're gonna start hearing these crows talk, start saying stuff. I was wondering what y'all thought about that.
And I think
only ravens can do that. Crows are not able to do that, but ravens can. And it would be interesting, but I'm pretty sure they're crows on the show. In the original pilot scripts, they're described as crows.
They are described as crows in the captions as well.
In fairness, we've been debating all night versus aliens versus supernatural. They could be supernatural crows that have the powers of ravens.
But it would be really cool if one of them spoke. They'd actually trained a raven to say a line. That would be really cool.
That would be
a line or just a word or something.
Like Nevermore. Right?
Like Nevermore. Or like the Demon Slayer.
Yeah, doesn't we have it in the show already, right?
So guys, it's almost for me. So I just wanted to ask you guys a couple of questions before I drop off.
Yeah, go for it.
So first question, Real, I already know your answer, but Phil and Tony, but Real, feel free to give yours if you want to share. I'm just curious if you believe in aliens, particularly you, Tony. Do you believe in aliens and UFOs? Do you think we're being visited, or is that just part of your theory? Yeah, in the real world.
You think that influences how I feel about the show?
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm just curious.
See,
I genuinely don't. I genuinely do not think
I'm gonna say like I believe in aliens. Like, she's crazy. This man believes in aliens. No, I will say this. I think that it's ignorant for any human being to think that we are the only people in this whole wild universe. So
yep.
I just think that it's not only ignorant, it's arrogant to think that we are just the only planet when scientists have proven that there's billions of planets out there and solar systems and everything, that we are just the only ones who happen to have life that made it. I think it's ignorant.
Yes, but that's not my question, though. It's about the visitation and the UFOs. Do you believe in all that stuff?
Right. There's a difference, because I agree exactly what you're saying, Tony. It's no, I'm ignorant to think no, but there's so many stars. Every star you see out there, it could be a sun. That of course there's life out there somewhere.
90% of people agree with that.
But the question is it the Men in Black? Is it ET phone home?
No,
is it somebody actually coming to the planet?
That, but I can say that I do think that something has visited our planet that wasn't born on this planet.
Yeah. I want to ask you guys a more
just quickly, Real. Sorry, just quickly.
Question, Taryn, for everybody, just chime in, right? Do you think that we are at the mercy of what we've been told about these so-called discoveries, and that we actually have been told the truth about our reality?
You're at the mercy of anything that anybody just tells you.
I believe that the answer to that question is beyond our knowledge until there's some sort of admission from the government. But anyway, the only reason.
Wait. So you're saying that the government has to validate something for you in order to believe it?
No. I mean, I actually know some of the people that testified at your congressional hearings about UFO and disclosure, the whistleblowers. I know a bunch of them. So I've vacationed with them several times. I was in Peru. I was in Egypt. These guys, yeah. But so I totally believe it because I know some of these people personally. But I was just curious, Tony, what your view was, because you're so into the whole alien theory.
No,
so
I 100% agree. I 100% believe that we have been visited by things that were not from this planet. And if you want to just call them aliens because they're not from the planet, because that is the actual term. I'm not saying that they're gray men or they're green people or they look like ET. I don't have no idea, but I'm saying that people that were not born on the planet Earth that came here 100%. There's no doubt in my mind that's happened.
Certainly possible.
Well, I mean, even
I'm more of the,
I guess, look at things like the Bible.
Certainly, it's certainly possible, but I don't know anything. I'd have to get more information, and I don't have enough information to know whether that's happened. But it seems possible. Sure.
I recommend my friend Ross Coulthart on News Nation. He does amazing reporting on this.
News Nation. I have a friend that's really good friends with Chris Cuomo on News Nation. Right. I have a friend that went to high school with him, went to junior high school with him, and then went to high school with him and stuff. And he's real good friends with Chris Cuomo.
But anyway, yeah, so the guy who did the original David Grush interview, the Australian journalist, that's Ross. I recommend his work. But anyway, that wasn't my real question. Sorry, we may probably spent too long on that. But what I really wanted to ask you guys is, what is your theory of the dolls, the scarecrows, whatever you want to call them? We saw
the Cabbage Patch
whole
things.
bunch of these things, right? We saw a whole bunch of these things. I can see Tony wincing. I can see you don't like them very much. You don't like the vibe. You're not sure about it.
The vibe is, I just don't know. I think it can go either one or two ways, right? So either they are Ethan dreaming them up, but even if he dreams them up, that could make them reality, right? From what we've seen, that nightmares become realities like the cicadias, that he could dream it as a nightmare and it come alive. But I think that it's possible that those things kill Boyd's son. And that's how he passes away this season by
the Cabbage Patch kills Ellis.
Yeah. Because I think in the trailer we see Kenny hugging Boyd really tight. And
Kenny ain't got anyone left to, you know.
I'm saying
Kenny needs body contact.
That would be Kenny, you know, doing to Boyd what Boyd did for him.
Exactly. Because Kenny ain't got anyone left, so it's got to be that way around.
And
my thing about the Cabbage Patch dolls, I brought this up last season when Jim found the cabbages back there.
I can confirm Real was straight on the Cabbage Patch Kids. I did not get on board because they were more of a modern invention as far as I know, 1982. So I'm less connected to that one. But
now the Cabbage Patch Kids, that's what I was going to say. The Cabbage Patch dolls are something that I predicted last season, and you already know when I saw them, I was pointing at the screen like Leonardo DiCaprio in that movie. And, you know, I said, oh my God, they pretty much put it, and they got the button eyes and everything. And they're underground, they're buried in the dirt and all of that. And I said all of this last season. So to see that materialize,
with the eggs too.
It reminds me of in season 2, when I was covering season 2, I was talking about the egg symbolism and the ovum and the vesica Pisces. And then in season 3, we saw the egg symbolism reemerging all the way to the finale when Fatima literally lays an egg at the end of the show. So when I saw the Cabbage Patch dolls, I bugged the fuck out. Like, yo, I know exactly where they're going with this. I can say that this season is going to be chock full of not only symbolism, but predictive symbolism as well. We're going to see things in From that will show up in 2027. Because let's also look at the 47 in this 47 situation. The 47 and the 74 has been showing up numerous times in the show. It was totally abandoned for season 3, and they brought it back with dropping the trailer. Now get this. They dropped the trailer 74 days before April 19th, which was what, February 4th. Okay. So then they dropped the teaser on March 10th, which is 34 days later. So 3 and 4 equals 7. And there and March 10th is 40 days until the release of the premiere. So 4 and 0 is 4, and there you have 74 again. Or you can do it the 34 days between the teaser and the trailer plus the 40 days from the trailer and the release of the show equals 74. So they are definitely playing with the 74s. They're bringing that back. And that actually kind of takes us into what I was going to say about the Sophia thing. I said when the caller talks, but he's still on the line with us. So, and he already is hip to the symbolism that I'll be dropping. That's Ray Barnes right there. That's my green skin brother. So we have to see that them dropping the name of the character literally means something. Now, my last From video was on January 4th of 2025. And then January 16th of 2025, I started covering Severance. And in that video, I talked about Sophia. And the reason why is because I was on that kick from I was talking about the Lemegaton, okay? And that's what I think we're actually dealing with. I think the core of what we're dealing with is the demons from the Lesser Keys of Solomon, okay? We have too many Solomon references. We have too many widow's son. The widow's son is Hiram Abiff, okay, who was the architect of Solomon's temple. But it all tracks back to Solomon. Solomon was the author of Proverbs. I should say he's accredited with being the author of Proverbs. He may be the authorizer of Proverbs. But Proverbs speaks about Sophia. And Sophia is when she's spoken about in the word of wisdom. So I break this down in my last From video that I just dropped this year. But I talked about the Sophia and them bringing that character into the fold and all of the 74s and everything. We're bearing witness to the 74 with Trump being the 47th president and Trump being the 45th president. Now, 45 equals 9 and 47 equals 11. So there you have 9/11. And I told you that actually Taryn told me that the writer of the show claims that the inspiration was 9/11, right? So I broke this down to you. Now, when you look at the Trump assassination attempt, that also took place on a 7/4. That took place on July 13th, which is July is the 7th month, and the 13th equal 4. 1 and 3 is 4. And it's so crazy that the Institute, which is by Stephen King and directed by Jack Bender, who directs From, they dropped the Institute on July 13th, which is the anniversary date of that Trump shooting. The Trump shooter's name was Thomas Matthews, and his name was Thomas Matthew Crooks. And it's crazy that Jim and Tabitha's son name was Thomas Matthew, right? But then it's even deeper. And I go into all of that, and I say that to say that them bringing the Sophia talks directly about all of this, what we're seeing now. You could Google the Sophia on YouTube right now, and there are like a bunch of channels dropping knowledge about the Sophia. I've been dropping this knowledge since season 2 of From, but that's when my channel started. But you know, that's why I think the Sophia character is going to be like super important. I don't think they're going to kill her off. I can't get with you on the her being the man in yellow, but I do love the theory about him shape-shifting into a woman.
Rio, will you come with me to the casino? The way you know numbers, I want to bring you to the blackjack table.
Yo,
it's one of the I promise you, in the end, he shapeshifts into Cecilia or Acosta. Again, it's one or the other. If you want to look at the name Acosta, it means accost, and he says what Niles becomes accost, and her name is
first.
If you want to say that, you can say it.
That's heat right there, Tony.
Whatever it is, it's going to be one of them. And I promise you, it's one of them chicks that he does.
If we have that Vegas party, I'm bringing Real to the fucking blackjack table with me.
Oh, yeah. We definitely got to spit the numbers. We definitely got to understand the patterns. This show.
No, maybe roulette. But yeah, of course, you can ask another caller, my friend.
Another question. This show has been playing with those numbers crazy.
Aaron was saying and what Real was saying.
God, do you think?
That's actually what I called in for. Have y'all seen the trailer for Disclosure Day?
You know, I did see the trailer. I didn't dive into it, but I did see it. It is fire. It's a fire trailer. I did notice the symbolism in there. It's the same bells are being rang across Hollywood with multiple shows.
Yeah, some things in there that I kind of seen linked to From, and that's what made me call in. I was like, I seen this video. I was like, I need to see what's up.
Even when you look at Paradise, if you're watching Paradise right now, a lot of those characters mirror what's going on in From. Like totally the main character, what's his name? Xavier. That's your boy character right there. He's even on a horse. In the beginning of that Paradise show, the very first episode in season 1, they showed the riding horse. The guy was standing up against a Mustang car. Like they showed a bunch of horses. They even referenced horses and stuff. They also referenced pancakes. Now, a lot of the shows have been referencing pancakes and waffles. You had Severance was referencing the waffle party. You had pancakes on a bunch of different shows. Actually, they were talking about the pancakes. The pancakes represent the Eucharist. As a matter of fact, From talks about the pancakes as well. Miss Lou's pancakes. The pancakes is a circular flat bread, and it represents the Eucharist. That's why they had Elgin was drawing his blood, and he gives Fatima the jars of blood. That's the drinking of the blood during communion, which is the Eucharist. So
the matzah.
Oh yeah, they definitely cooking on some heavy esoteric stuff. But them bringing in the Cabbage Patch Kids. If you go back to my season 3 coverage, I talked about the Cabbage Patch Kids. I believe I actually showed like Jim holding the cabbage in the thumbnail. I don't know exactly what video it is. It might have been like episode 3 or episode 2 or 3 or 4, something like that. But I definitely talked about the Cabbage Patch Kids. The Cabbage Patch
What
Kids,
are they? What are they?
Okay, so all right, so when we
like
look
how
back
are they going to show it on the show to explain it? Like not in the deeper contextual stuff that might take like quite a long time to explain.
what
but
are
just-
the
yeah?
Okay, so I'm thinking
Who's controlling them? What are they? That kind of thing.
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking about the Cabbage Patch Dolls. The Cabbage Patch Dolls are most likely what was outside when Jim and Kenny were looking for the food, and they heard the rattling outside.
Yeah, probably wasn't Bigfoot. Probably wasn't Bigfoot.
Probably wasn't Bigfoot, but it probably was those guys. And also because we see them at the Cabbage Patch buried in the dirt, and we also see them busting through the cabin, like, you know. So
Kool-Aid.
I'm thinking
Kool-Aid.
that
That's
Ethan's
racist.
gonna get taken.
It's a
I
little
think they're gonna
racist.
take Ethan.
It's a little racist with the Kool-Aid Man reference. I didn't appreciate
There's an old anime called Big O.
Oh, you talking about how he bust through the door?
Yeah.
Like the Kool-Aid Man? Oh man, that's crazy. But he wasn't smiling though, so we give him a pass.
Yeah, but he
You
may
know.
kill a black man. He may kill Elgin. You know, I mean, Boyd's
Ellis.
Boyd's son.
Okay. So I
But-
don't think
but
Ellis is
let me
gonna die.
hear from Tony. Okay.
I think they're gonna straight up take Ethan. I think the
But you
Scarecrow's
see him
gonna
in the trailer. He's punching
No, they
something. in the
beat
ground.
something.
Like he's beating
They kill
somebody's
someone.
ass.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like you see him, like
Now-
he's punching straight on the ground, like it's
Yeah,
like
he's
it's a rat for somebody.
And the talisman doesn't work on these guys.
oh yeah. These guys. Okay, so I don't know. I think they're gonna even if they do kill someone, I think they're gonna take Ethan. But I don't think Ellis is gonna die just yet, just
Yeah.
because of the symbolism behind what his name means and everything. His father being in the post office representing liberty, you know, that Benjamin Franklin was your first postmaster general, you know. Then you have that bell, he rings the bell, which is the Liberty Bell. Benjamin Franklin was living right in Philly when the Liberty Bell was commissioned. You have his son's name is Ellis, which represents Ellis Island. Then you have Boyd holds the torch, which represents the torch being held at Ellis Island. You feel me? Like, I don't think he's gonna get clipped off just yet. I think there's some more things for him to do. You know what I'm saying? We haven't really lost the character of meaning on this show. They kind of,
But what are they?
but what are the
doll
Cabbage
things?
Patch? They're just that. They're Cabbage Patch dolls. I don't think.
Why?
I think they're independent thought. I think they have independent
Some
thought. I
type
think
of
they come
voodoo
out at
doll.
night.
You think they have spirits inside them?
I think they have people inside.
I think
Oh,
people were
interesting.
turned into them.
The only one inside that doll is Kenny. All right,
So that counts.
he ain't
Can he
getting
get
no
some of that
ass,
doll? It
man.
counts.
He ain't getting no ass.
If
God
he gets some of the doll, it counts. It's sort of.
That's what it is. I gotta go with that company, and I gotta get out of here. But listen, you know I love all of you, and Taryn and Real, great to hear from you. Let's continue this on another day and break down. Let's really get up in this. Pause. Let's keep the conversation going and stuff. Let's do this another day and stuff. We've been up here for almost 4 hours, so
we're good.
Yeah, this was a great
4 a.m. for me, so
stream.
I'm ready.
4 a.m. for you. I'm so sorry.
It's all right. It's a Friday night, so it's okay.
I'm so sorry. 4 a.m.
I'm just now looking at the chat. I see people talking about that 74 references that I was talking about, and that next year equals 74 as well. So that's why I think this year From will definitely predict some stuff.
Okay.
Have a good night, caller, too. Thank you for sticking with us for a while.
Thank y'all for having me, man. And
yes,
and real, I try to holler at you, man.
You too. Have a good night, man.
No,
good
listen,
night, everyone.
I would like to say 100%. I'll say it right here. Anything I'm saying may not work. It may not be true. I'm convinced in it, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen. I think that Real, Phil, and Taryn theories are amazing, and it's a good chance that they possibly can be right over me. We'll see.
Nah, no. Oh, let me say this before we go, because I've been itching to say this. I know you got company coming. I've been itching to say this. I think that all of our theories actually round around to the same thing. I don't see our theories are very vastly different.
Thank you for the man in yellow. Good night, Doug Hugh. Thank you for rocking with us.
Good night, Doug. But yeah, I don't think that our theories are very different, fam. I think that we have kind of like the same theories. I just come from a more esoteric standpoint. Taryn comes from a lot of patterns and symbols as well.
Historical, really.
And more historical, you know. And I think that you are on the same thing because, like you said, when you round it off, it's ancient aliens. Like, you know, even if you look at God from the Bible and the deities, I mean, God isn't from this planet, so he has to be an extraterrestrial, right? And all the angels and everything that came down are extraterrestrial because they're not from this planet. So, like, no, I'm with you on that. I'm totally rocking with the alien theory. So there you have it.
And I'm being an annoying fence sitter and going, I'll wait to see what happens, and then go, yeah, that's awesome. I agreed with that person the whole time.
Right?
No, if Bigfoot comes on the show, you may not say that you agreed with me the whole time.
No,
because I know you've laughed at that.
I'm hard on that, but no, in fairness,
I know you laughed at it.
I tend to think this is more of like a play acting in some cases too, and especially with the Cabbage Patch dolls, I think there's some Scarecrow from Batman stuff going on where they're dressing up and using some hallucinogenic kind of situation.
It's a hallucinogenic. That's what we're talking about. It's a technology, not an actual.
Yeah, no, I'm more on the side of science-y stuff, but I'm also anything's possible because I like to sit on the fucking fence.
So they do. They hit you with that injection. Donna's giving them peaches to Victor. We don't know if that's keeping Victor stupid, or we don't know. If the
one thing about the show is that it's been able to create a fan base like that.
And now all of a sudden Victor's coming out of it because the peaches are gone. We don't know that that's not the case.
I said that too. That was one of my theories that he's been the peaches have been keeping his memories fucked up or something like that. But I gotta say, like, look at what the show has been able to do. It's been able to create a fan base that has been attacking the show from all different kinds of angles of mystery that just keeps on mysterying, and it just has created a really dope fan base of creators that cover the show, and the people that listen to the creators be given some real heat. The people that call in, they have some really good compliments to what we're saying, and they have their own great thoughts and theories as well. And just the fact that they've been able to create a show like that, that's one thing that has really not been done in so long. Like, and I wasn't a fan of Lost, and I'm hearing that Lost was like that.
Yeah, no, I'd never watched Lost before. I think I've gotten through 3 seasons of it right now, but I've never, it
takes stamina. It takes some stamina. There's a lot of episodes.
It's a lot.
Oh my god, the flashbacks.
Oh,
I like the flashbacks.
Kate episode after Kate episode, and
it's like watching Cheers back in the day or Seinfeld. Like they got
at least those are 30 minutes, you know, and they're not focusing on some random horrible character stuff along the way. Not every Jin episode is good.
In my life, unfortunately. All right, people.
Thank you, Real, for your kind words.
No, thank you.
Indeed.
Yeah, thank y'all for rocking. Go buy Terran Mather's new book. What's the name of the new book, Terran? I know you posted it.
I think it's called The Tainted Khan.
You know what it's called. What's it called? The Tainted Khan. Go buy the name. Go buy Terran Mather's new book, The Tainted Khan, and support us. Right, support everybody. Support people who do this. You know, we are here for you. We'll have us all back on here. And listen, we all don't agree on the thing, but we all love each other. And that's what I tell y'all all the time when I deal with theories. It's not that, you know, I think what I think. You could think what you want. We'll find out in the end who's right, but it doesn't matter in the end who's right. In the end, it doesn't matter. It does for bragging rights, but besides that, it doesn't matter. We're
gonna have some more bets, Tony. We're gonna have another bet. I'm gonna redeem myself.
You're gonna have to because you lost the last
one. I did make one bet with a listener that Kenny would get laid. It's a bottle of booze.
Oh, Kenny ain't getting laid.
Kenny's gonna get laid before he dies. He's gonna get some. I'm gonna win that bet.
He may get laid by Doug Hugh impersonating Acosta.
It counts. It counts.
Oh my goodness.
There wasn't any specification to who it was.
That doesn't count, brother. All right, let me get back.
Everything counts.
Y'all gonna get me in trouble.
Let's go.
All right.
All right. All right. Please thumbs up this